reverse engineering it a little bit. Today's the first day water temps have dropped back below 85 degrees. Cold winter, warmish spring, and then but 2-3 weeks of just insane heat, like some pretty close to record highs, some record highs. Water got close to 88, 89. And I fished a little bit, and I'm we're gonna show you some of the tougher days and what I tried to figure out. But I had my first cold front, a little bit of rain. Hey, since we're doing silly uncut videos, I've got a bunch of sand fleas. They're easy to get right now. Usually not, actually. I never really fished with them inshore. Let's try it. That's kind of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fish shallow because we had some cooler weather. I'm crossing my fingers that finally some shallow bites might happen here. So I'll start at these shallow pilings here. Hopefully there's a couple fish. I've got some really light tackle for this. We're probably gonna get destroyed and regret doing that, but most of this stuff we're gonna fish today is gonna be like under 6 feet of water. So not my wheelhouse typically, but you and I, we can learn it together and see how we do. Starting with this little 1/8 ounce jig and a sand flea. This is one of these worm weight jigs, really light. Yeah, hopefully we're gonna find some fish. There's a lot of real estate I'm gonna be able to work today, but I don't know if it's gonna be fishy or not. Now, I've fished this stuff maybe, I don't know, half dozen times tops. Not my typical wheelhouse, less than half a dozen actually. But I never really tried to focus on it because, well, I never really had much of an incentive, I guess. I'm excited to maybe try and see what happens here today. So it's 3.5 feet. We're shallow, boy. Question is, do you crack sand flea? I think you should probably end up cracking them a little bit too, like any other crab. So let me change that quickly. Sorry, dude. Get some juice out. Get the juice going. Got incoming tide. A little bit of north wind. I think we're going to swap straight north to a little bit southeast, so we'll see. Hope we'll get a couple fish here. I think like here, somewhere like here, I'm going to see kind of more the run-of-the-mill size sheepshead. Maybe a black drum or two. That I'm not sure about. Probably some junk fish too, just pinfish, croakers. You know they're going to be around on some numbers. I had a little tap the minute I hit bottom there. Missed them. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm going to have some of these kinds of critters, right? It's fun. Kind of like brim fishing, right? Some small bites, though. I heard something big out there. Bigger, rather. What is it? Oh, croaker. Yeah, makes sense. Once upon a time, a great panfish, but now these days, generally not to the size you really want to. You can, I guess, if you're really hungry, you can make meals out of them, but you know, the days of croakers being 2 pounds, you know, the size of a black drum. I'm hearing there's some pretty big croakers this year, a little bit north of here. Jamaica Bay, I'm seeing like some pretty big croakers up there. I mean, we used to catch them like some years, like 16, 17-inch monsters. I'm sure anyone who's been around on the water long enough knows those stories of like, you know, 2-3 pound croakers, size of a small black drum, red drum. Tastes good, man. There's nothing wrong with them too. All right, you saw that pop right there? Let me just watch it again, see. I got something ready for that, whatever's going on over there. This little tiny shrimp might work. I have no idea. That could just be a bluefish busting up some bait there. Could be a drum. Threw this tiny voodoo shrimp here. That's all I had kind of ready. It's like a school mullet running around there. You know, nothing bit, so I don't want to waste too much time. A couple of years ago I saw a triple tail here, so I'm kind of hoping I could see one. Shallow, shallow, shallow. There's definitely a little bit of bait here. It's already exciting. If I get something really small, I can put it on a cork, I guess, too. Okay. Oh. It's a close call there. Almost shot my little sampling into my kayak. Okay, let's see here. These little 1/8 ounce jigs I got off Amazon are really good. Only problem is I got sand. I want to try to avoid getting sand on this Vanford. I didn't think about that too much, honestly. There's a lot of croakers here right now. Dang. I didn't think the junk fish would be that punishing. This is hard. Okay. So sand fleas, you get them off on the beach with a rake. It's not the most complicated thing, but some years are really hard to find. This year it's been better, at least by me, in one spot. All piled in one spot, and they've been consistent. I've never really tried using them that much inshore, so this might not work out. Now I'm starting to get worried. I feel like I should have had 1 or 2 bites here, maybe. I'm a quick worrier. I feel like that 1/8 ounce jig sinks really slow. It's got to be exactly what you want for this. Missed him. I think that's what we want. It's light rod. It's going to be hard to tell when we got something good. We're small. Pinfish, huh? See, it'd be fun to put this out there live, but what we're going to catch on this, unfortunately, it's either going to be a flounder, right? And I don't want to gut hook a flounder. It might be an overslot speckled trout. There's a chance of that. Can't keep him if I gut hook him. Slot red, yeah. I got 1 fiddler crab in my bucket from. This guy's been living in my garage for a month. He's finally about to get it. Yeah, that's kind of the reality of it. It's like it's fun and exciting, but yeah, it's like I don't know. Not this time of year. Maybe a different time of year I'd do it. Okay, this set of pilings isn't giving me yet. I mean, I'm being a little impatient, but this is all 3.5 feet. This is what I'd expect to be more of a quantity spot. You know, just catch a lot of fish, but I might have to, you know, find them. Might be a little harder than I'm giving it credit for. Generally do like towards the ends of the piers and stuff like that too. Maybe the mud crab is what you need too. Some sheepshead get in some really shallow water. Like 3.5 feet's not out of the question. Oh, some absolute monsters in 3 feet. Flounder too, obviously, but hopefully we're not going to hook one on a fiddler crab. Okay. Yeah, I'm not waiting too long, man. When you're in this shallow water, someone's gonna eat this. Sometimes I feel like covering a little bit of ground is always a better move. Trying to convince something a little more aggressive to show up. I'm guessing everything just kind of shifts along this sort of stuff anyway. Gotta be very quiet though. I missed something there. I don't think that was small. Try again. I don't think that was anything small there. I mean, that's small. This is like kind of an ultralight. Give him a little extra second to eat it. Got it. It worked. Hell yeah. What is it? Oh, nice. Let's do it. All right, that was out of fiddler crab, and I've only got one more. Hey, that's a pretty nice one, man. This is some hard stuff to do it like this. Oh no, get back here. I kind of want you for dinner. Got 6 pound test. I think I got 8 to 10 pound leader. It's pretty light. Almost got him, man. It's like a pretty nice fish. He's probably like 20 inches. Embarrassing though. Nah, 18 inch. He's a good one. A little bit exaggerating, give him my internet excitement goggles on. So these are reaction tackle. What are these called? I think they're made by a company called React. Oh, look at that. We got to throw that one in the trash probably though. No, that barber's a little flat. I'm sure you see that. Yeah, they're 1/8 ounce worm weights. So if you want really light, I usually don't go 1/8 ounce for sheepshead, but I also don't fish this shallow that often. I'm not good at it. Like, this is my weakness. I've been fishing deep and still doing really well. Like, the fish are really piled in deep water this year forever. Yeah, this guy's probably about 20 inches if I had to guess. I'll keep one this size. 20 inch ain't bad. Especially out in the shallows. This is always fun. You're allowed to keep 5 a day. I'm probably just gonna keep like 2. Maybe a black drum. Those choppers they got. That's really the main summer fishery. Flounder is what's most abundant, right? But you can't fish for them here, and I don't want to complain about going freaking fishing and having a good time, but you know, let's not get much more into it. Let's adapt, have a good time. All right, so what I like to do is I always bleed fish out. Doesn't matter the type. You don't have to, but I just have a habit of it. So let's do that with this guy. Sheepshead are good. Don't need me to tell you that. If you've never eaten them, I would say if you eat freshwater fish mostly, oh man, what sheepshead what would say closest is to sheepshead? If you're out here and watching with me and you don't get to eat sheepshead, I would say striped bass. Yeah, I would say striper. Hang on, we got one little smudge here. I'd say the closest fish to in saltwater that's not like sheepshead, that's better than scup for sure. Maybe mangrove snapper, I would say. If you had mangrove and never ate sheepshead. And I don't have a hook sharpener on my kayak today. Should I try? Well, let's risk it. I think we'll do okay. So this will probably be no hot spot, right? It's going to be just literally fish one piling, go to the next one. Fish a piling, go to the next one. Keep doing that. That fish did take his time to eat that fiddler crab. So I'm back on the sand fleas now. I'm not sure if it's going to matter much. I feel like I got a bite here. Maybe I'm going to get more junk on the sand fleas. This is fun though. Relaxing doing this actually. Most saltwater fishing isn't very relaxing, I'm not gonna lie. Because it could be a little chaotic. This is gonna be a chill one, I think. Ooh, got a little bite there. Cleaned off actually. Okay. Also got those fake Savage Gear crabs. I've done videos with those in the past, right? I've not had good days with those things. Only thing is I'm gonna have a hard time keeping sand off this Vanford. I think I'm gonna have a problem. I didn't realize the sand fleas are gonna get that much junk fish though. I'm getting junked out pretty quick here. I don't know if the sand fleas attract more junk than the shrimp. That's a good question, but yeah. And I'm gonna just do a little quick snip here. Really want to catch a triple tail, man. I'm seeing like a couple posted online. I'm not really a report chaser. And I have no idea if they're any caught anywhere near here, but I'm thinking to myself, like, it's been years. I do want to catch one pretty bad. They get in weird places. They do like crab traps and floaty stuff, but they'll get on docks too sometimes. Some years more than others, of course. But they'll eat like all the weird stuff. Sand fleas, shrimps, yeah, you name it. It'd be pretty interesting if we could catch a limit here. I mean, I'm not going to keep a limit, but the limit's 5 fish. The old limit was 10 fish. 10 fish was pretty hard to do, I'm not going to lie, back in the day. That wasn't an easy limit to get necessarily. Definitely doable. Alright, it's pinfish attacking my freaking sand flea. I hope this isn't going to be I'm a victim of not having the right bait. Takes a little patience. The right wiggle. This is really nice actually, man. I need to do more shallow water dock fishing. That's kind of like in chill places. Yeah, this isn't like the spot, you know. Anyone would probably think is very good for the most part, but it'll give you a little nice day to be out. The thing I'm noticing with the sand fleas though, they do spin. I should be a little more patient with them then, because I notice when I'm reeling them in, they're helicoptering, so I gotta probably try to keep them on the bottom and not move them around. And helicoptering is no good. Yeah, I'm worried now. These fish never see sand fleas, even though probably at some point in their life they might be in the surf eating them, but these fish might be like, nope, that's some BS. We're eating fiddler crabs, oysters, you know, that kind of stuff out here. Not whatever you're peddling. Maybe it's just not juicy enough too. If you throw a little chunk of blue crab, it's gonna get just a salt. Yeah, I had to peel that shell back immediately. I got a bite. I don't know what it is. Sand fleas might not have too much stuff in them. You know, being that the water's a little murky, makes some sense too. Shrimp can be like that too. Shrimp would probably work well if you can know where you're supposed to fish them around here. Shrimp is a little intimidating for that reason. Wow, I'm surprised we're not getting any more smaller sheeps. You know, going straight to 20-incher is not what I had, and I thought I was going to get a lot of like 12s and 4s. Like some of these zones just get a lot of smaller sheep. Live and learn, bro. Fish the single pilings a little bit. This I'm going to kind of breeze through a little quickly. Okay, something there. More appropriate size fish. Bro. Someday, I look at that fish. I'd say I kind of get sad every time I look at it. Did he splash that camera? No, I do get sad. Like, yeah, miss the big ones. I do. So, you know, where was I? I was in Alabama. There were still some big ones there, though. That's for sure. 14-inch, right? Check out a video I did maybe last fall. Got some 14-inch ones, so yeah, there's still a couple around. Okay. Single pilings sometimes are good. What is that? Sheep? Yeah. Eat the sand fleas. Good to see. Good to see. This little Vanford 13 fishing rod. I got myself tangled up there pretty good. Splashing the camera too. Oh, that's a good way to do a summer morning without being in 95-degree heat. Those guys in Australia, they really do. They call them. They have a brim over there. They look kind of like sheepshead. Like sheepshead meets a pinfish, but yeah. Get them out of there. Yeah, I really take it seriously. They have all sorts of lures. They're in the same family. They definitely are hard to catch with lures. If you're a long-time kayak fisherman, they used to have this thing called the Hobie Worlds. And the Hobie Worlds, they did one in Australia I qualified for, I remember, several years back, cleaning my sunglasses here. And it was for brim. And we were joking, like, oh, we're going pinfish, scup, you know, just one of these small fish. But you know what? A lot of these fish are kind of cool. When you really, like, want to learn a new type of fishing, ultralight and lure and all that stuff. It's really interesting. It really makes you fish differently. Every type of fishing you learn and master makes you a better angler overall, right? Like I'd say most of us YouTube angling personalities aren't good fishermen, right? Like you can probably bring us to your honey hole and outfish us every day of the week. But some guys do end up mastering, I would say, the art of being in a new environment, right? That's what I would say, more than anything. Just going to a new spot and figuring it out in a manner that's productive. That's not easy. It's easy to be a one-trick pony in some regard, right? Ooh, I missed something right away there. The single piling's got it going on today. I think he cleaned me off. Nope. That's my dead sand flea. Just trying to save a couple bucks by going straight to the dead one. We'll see. I don't know how many fish can be on a single piling. I feel like those sheepshead typically do like to be in like schools of like 5, 6, 7, maybe more. I think those are croakers or pinfish though. Bringing the bearer of bad news. We got another, I don't know, 20 pilings to fish. There's more pilings up there to fish. What's going to happen though is at some point the tide's going to cover these, I think. Probably will, rather. So being efficient, you know, trying to get one bite, good bite pretty quickly. Smack that piling there on the cast. Still got my bait. I bet it fell off when I cast. Nope. Yeah, and there's tons of these fish that are probably not eating, you know. Okay. It's good to see a sand flea will work, you know. I was worried about that. That was something good. He took his time. He took his time on me. Showed me up. I also think sometimes having a little bit of that sand when it hits the water, definitely like fish can get attracted to that little pluff of sand when you hit bottom. Makes you think it's a crab or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's more pinfish or something like that. I don't feel like that first bite was anything quite like that, though. First bite's usually like the good one, and then sometimes there's all these other fish that kind of show on up. Requires some patience, too. It's about time. I knew I was going to eventually find something to hang up on here. Got it back, yeah. Didn't mean to do all that. Shenanigans on my part. See now my shadow. Shadow's bad. Maybe I'll still get a bite. I don't know. Might be deep enough. Might be stealthy enough. A little bit of luck. All right. Yeah, I don't like that shadow. Casting that big old shadow on fish. All right, let's run back up to kind of take it from the top a little bit. feel like there's definitely some old like maybe they got covered in silt. That was the only thing. Like, I know that, you know, this was an old pier or pipe or something like that. But they probably get silted out. Well, there's definitely still some stuff there to hang up on. Should have been a little less. Fished a lot of these pipes growing up. Pipes and pilings and whatever this is. I don't think I'm going to lose this one. Let's see if I can get to the leader at least. I'm breaking off at the leader. Boo. Nice job, man. Oh, man, I ain't even going to get to the leader. I feel a rock there or something like that. Yeah, there you go. See if that jig head's got to go. No, that jig head's still functioning. Used these jig heads before and kind of like them. There is no perfect option necessarily on the jig head department. Yeah, this definitely was like, felt like it was concrete or something down there. Wasn't big. Probably more of those croakers. It's definitely like a pipe. It feels like it. All right, I guess that's it there. Well, 1/8 ounce jig's the way though. I got some 16ths with me too. I was thinking about using those. You know, saltwater fisherman 16th is pretty light. Not too many guys end up using 16, but it's not that much current here. But I think 1/8 is might be the sweet spot for a minute. Clarity's pretty good though. I got like about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. It's pretty good for this zone. This isn't the cleanest zone typically. It could be really muddy actually. So what I got is actually decent. All right, let's go back to towards the end of this. Always like the ends of any of these structures too. These long mega piers. Even if it's all kind of uniform in depth, it still seems like the end's always pretty good. After this one submerges, we've got more up there, which are going to be interesting because, you know, we're going to be guessing. But as it gets deeper with the tide, you know, as we get into like 6 feet of water, it'll be easier to probably fish it in some regard. Most of these fish are going to spook after 1 or 2 bites, though, is my guess. I don't think I caught anything towards the end, so that tide comes up quick though, right? Maybe. No, it looks like it came up since we started. Definitely had at least a foot left. It gets harder, you know, as soon as we submerge, it's going to be, you'll see, I'm going to be like, struggles are going to start happening, I think. I don't know how long we'll end up fishing here, but as long as we're catching fish, I'm going to stay out. It's not that hot today. And you could do like sheepshead fishing on shells, oysters, like all this stuff does hold them. Getting a couple small bites here. Stuff, you know, what happens too is like stuff like blue crabs start to show up. And the blue crabs, when they're like bumping the sand flea, they feel like a sheepshead bite, man. I think you can get on fish as long as you don't get over them with the shadow or the kayak. Like they're hard to spook until you're really on top of them. No, I think that was something pretty small though. It's crazy with these sensitive rods, man. How those bites might look on camera. I've been happy with these 13 fishing rods though. One of my Patreon users suggests that the guides will rust out, so I've been spraying them with WD-40 a little bit. They're kind of this one of these weird, not Fuji, not, you know, Sea Guides. One of these other, you know, definitely half in-house brand, maybe mass-produced from China, something like that. Definitely some small fish. What happened there? Guess I had half a freaking sand flea there and I forgot. Yeah, I don't think there's sand fleas. You know, they don't go up that far up the estuaries in general. That was a bad angle for me to even mess with that, I think. Oh man. There was definitely a fish there. Immediately ran me in. Well, we got our jig back at least. Yeah, that fish definitely ran me in right there. There's definitely a couple oyster toes and those kinds of fish too, so the thing is we gotta try not to hit too much of this stuff. Okay, good, it was light enough. That lynx doesn't like hitting stuff, but there's not too many oysters on here, and you can hit that stuff gently enough, thankfully. Yeah, you want to fish next to the pilings too. You know, sometimes there's nothing out there in no man's land a little bit. Fish are going to orient to those pilings mostly. 84 degrees is being, you know, not hot. That's amazing, right? Compared to how summer's been. Oh, it feels so nice out though, man. It was definitely, I don't know about you guys, but I was definitely like, yeah, it was kind of like, you know what, I might not fish till September is what I was thinking. When I was looking at the mornings, you know, those east winds, it could be a hot day with the east winds, but the good thing is, on the east winds at least, the humidity is not too bad usually. Hey, there's one. I definitely missed one over there and he just darted right in. Whoa. Ultralight fishing with sand fleas today. What do you think? Glad they're working. Yeah, I don't expect this sort of spot to produce the, you know, the 7-9 pound monsters. You never know. I'm sure there's always one, or two. This is really what you catch in these sorts of zones, but it's a different game, man. It's peaceful. The current's mild. Enjoy yourself a bit more. That hook's in there. There we go. These ones look a little hungry. Like that fish is kind of lean looking. You know? Like the forage might not be that great. The ones that are further up the bay seem healthier. I mean, their colors are a little weird, but they aren't quite as lean. All right, then we got to do our camera check. Mostly going to be uncut, man. Hope you like it. Just hate the camera to have a hard time staying dry. Okay. Alrighty, let's see here. Another sand flea out of the box. Bucket of sand fleas. Seems like, yeah, you don't have to crack those shells, okay. And the sand fleas got their own scent. They smell bad when they're getting close to dying. If you've ever left them in the garage, they just smell like, man, they're bad. Worse than fiddler crabs. But yeah, a lot of fish when they're, especially juveniles, like, you know, the small sheepshead are feeding on them, like the little, you know, but when they're 4 to 6 inches, black drum eat them, croakers, everything ends up eating them at one point in their life. So it's not far-fetched that they'll work, just like shrimp work well for giant fish at times still. Pretty much every large inshore fish is going to eat a live shrimp at some point. From drum to, you know, sheeps, all of them are going to eat it. Is it the preferred bait? Probably not, but you can still catch really big fish on live shrimp all the time. Nearly all the time. Okay. Surprised we haven't seen anything else, like a small red. Got those croakers. Those sheepshead are probably just circling around pilings, though. I'm trying to give you a little patient. Getting bites. It's just like in the surf where they're munching the butts off and the tail and all that stuff, for sure. One thing I noticed though, I definitely get more junkfish bites on the sand flea. They're not ripping it off the hook every time, but I'm definitely getting more. And I got more sets of these pilings to work in a moment here, so give every single one about an hour's worth of time. They're going to get harder because they're going to be submerged, so I'm going to be kind of drifting and guessing over them a lot more. I'll just be reading the current, but that might make the fish more aggressive because as the water gets deeper, 6 feet, I feel like I won't be dealing with too many really shy fish, per se. Oh, nothing out here. So we're three sheepshead here. That's pretty good. I'm not seeing too much up top here. Sometimes I'll see those sheepshead kind of coming up on the pilings and ripping a barnacle off, something like that. Okay, so I'm just messing with it. Getting owned here by something. I don't know what it is, but something just keeps getting me. I'm guessing that's a pinfish and croakers. I went like 0 for 3 on this piling. I gotta leave them. I think there's a pile of pinfish or something really small there. It just keeps grabbing my bait and I lose them right away. So. Now I would use a bottom sweeper here if it was, you know, there was more current or a little bit more depth. There's just such little current that it makes no sense to go so heavy. You get more bites by going a little bit lighter. Yeah, hung up there. I think we're gonna gotta break off eventually here. Oh, we got it back. Dang. Having a pretty good day with that. Yeah, just see barnacles as I look on these pilings here. That's kind of the end of the pier here. See if there's anything there. Should be something here towards the end. Now this is where it gets hard. I'm no longer visually seeing most of these things, so they're starting to submerge, and I'm like, oh, I think I got it. All right, let's keep going. Got plenty more to work around here, so I don't want to spend too much time. That's a good start. 3 sheep, a couple other bites. Got plenty of sand on some of this camera gear, so let's keep going. Yeah, that worked out pretty good so far. Yeah, I got some of these in the kayak too. I don't think we're gonna use them today. Boy, it's been tough. I'm glad, you know, really it's hard to explain what was the difficulty of going through the endless heat wave more than anything. All right, so we got some stuff here. You Eastern Shore boys in Virginia watching, you know exactly this type of fishing. They got all the weirs, weirs. I think it's pronounced weirs. I've only fished that a couple times. Flounder, sheepshead, they're pretty juicy. So let's see. Some of this is submerged, so we got to be careful. I should be able to read the rip that forms from it, though. I hope. The water's clear enough I could see this stuff too. So you don't want to be smashing submerged stuff. Not with this kayak. This kayak is Hobie Lynx. It's a very delicate kayak. I love it though, man. I absolutely love this thing. So let's see if we can find what we're looking for somewhere here. Careful, guys. You got to look out for me. I don't want to be smashing anything. Smashing no pilings. I don't see it. It's here somewhere. Okay, I see one. I'm gonna run up on a couple more any second now. Be careful, Elias. Be careful, goober. There's one. Okay. I don't know how many more are here. Gotta bite instantly at least. Gosh, there was a fish on there for sure. When as I was pedaling over here, I went down to a 16th ounce jig, so I went lighter. Let's see if that does anything better. 16th is really light. Okay. Oh. The pinfish got me. Pinfish gang, where are you at? Okay. Nice to have a visual type of fishing too. I don't have to look at my fish finder or anything like that. That slow descend on the 16th ounce jig might be the ticket though. I'm telling myself that before it ever even is the option, right? Sheepshead. I'm sure if I dunked the live bait here, this would give me a flounder. And I'm down for learning, man. I'm going to be learning there ain't no fish there. That's okay. This is where I had a bite and I missed them. I think there's a fish or two here too. You guys see anything else here? I don't know. 6 feet, this is a little bit deeper. I think these might be pinfish or something like that though. Getting a lot of bites, they're just not sticking or doing anything. Nothing left there. Because that's one benefit of an ultralight, right? You're definitely able to feel things that happen that you might not ever get to feel. What do we learn? Don't settle into a spot too long, I guess. Yeah, it could be stuff like mullet too, right? The mullet aren't going to eat sand fleas, but they're going to... Okay, whoa. Definitely a few fish there. All right, let's be efficient about it. I think I already fell into that trap of spending too much time. Sixteenth-ounce jigs do roll a little bit more, it seems like. Let's see. There's definitely sheepshead here too, though. Wow, I can't believe I haven't had a bite here. I think just that small difference of being 6 feet deep is all it takes sometimes. Maybe. There's one. Oh, lost him. That was definitely a sheep, I think. Question is, I wonder if they're moving in really big schools, or it's just like 1 or 2 fish. Do they keep moving, or are they really like, okay, that's my piling, I'm a homebody to this one? Had another bite here. Just crack that shell a little bit. All right, next piling here. I did a lot of fishing. Yeah, we had a famous spot in Coney Island. There's a big ass pipe. Some really good fishing days on that thing. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Somebody's gonna look it up now. Like, fishing pipe off Coney Island. Oh, there was a good pipe there, man. There's other pipes, but man, a lot of pipe fishing. Similar to this. A lot of it deeper though, 10 to 20 foot, but really just like some spectacular fish caught. Missed something there though. That was definitely a good one. Good ones. Didn't want to miss them, but it was good fish. Seem to be getting a few more bites now. Problem that's kind of happening here is I got a cross drift and I'm like not able to stay on those fish for very long, but kind of slip off after getting a quick bite. So if he's taking his time, I'm gonna have a hard time, but I think we'll get it here. Figure this out shortly. Okay, moving along. 6 feet. Those blue crabs, they're definitely down there too, hitting them. They just swipe away. The ultralight helps with that too. I should have brought a crab trap here. I bet this is a great little spot to get a half dozen blue crabs while I'm fishing around for the sheeps and stuff like that too. Really surprised we didn't get a red drum anywhere here. I think I missed something there. Getting a lot of hit and quit it's. I think that's a blue crab. I feel like that's a blue crab doing that. No, how that one. What is that? Oh, it's a flounder. They eat sand fleas, man. It's pretty regular. You see them in the surf eating those things all the time. Can you imagine what happens when you throw a live bait out here? Live mullet? This is so much fun. It's so silly. It's definitely brim fishing. I think that's what usually I end up doing. Like every time I see sheepshead on structure like this, they're just doing a big old helicopter. All right. The good thing is when you hook the sand fleas like kind of in this zone, like right behind them like that, they stay alive pretty well. Like he's definitely swimming around and doing stuff. You go kind of right in the butt. Yeah, I'm really surprised. And it's been the weird summer here. There's a couple of sheeps up shallow. It's not as good. There's way more sheep out deep than typical for this time of year still. But the slot reds aren't. I'm going to show a clip too at the end next. Catching slot reds still really shallow. Just not that many shallow reds. It's like the winter maybe destroyed a lot of their forage where they feed pretty frequently. I don't know. It's like the fish that use the deep water are still using the deep water, but all the shallow water fish don't seem to be around. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Don't seem to be finding any sheep here. Water is deeper. Big old, Just like in the surf, munch the butt off on me. Okay. Still fun. Even if we don't get any more bigger fish, I think we'll still see. We're gonna find some somewhere here. We're gonna find a little pocket of better sized fish for sure. Flounder on the sand fleas here, man. Sand flea flounder hole. See, did he jack up that camera line? Now we're good. See a couple of these, not all submerged yet. I can still see them. It's getting harder though. Good thing with those 16th ounce jigs though, I'm not hanging up at all. Where are the Sheepshead here? They're probably, these ones aren't eating what I'm throwing. 6 feet's definitely not too deep for them, we know. All right, there's a lot of submerged pilings here. I'm seeing a couple, be careful. Okay. Definitely cause a little bit of anxiety. It's harder when they submerge up, you know. Definitely start guessing more. Still working, you know, really want that slow drop. Better bite here. Man, I keep missing fish now. I'm wondering maybe the 16th is too light. I don't know why a fish would drop and get finicky like that on me. Maybe these are just flounder pilings right now too. Now I'm losing confidence. I have to start cracking my shells maybe. I don't know. You hate losing confidence when you go fishing too. Like, one thing's worked out pretty well, and then it's like, oh, maybe scent. I need to work on scent again. I might have hit that many fish over there too. And these shallow water fish too. It's like there could be probably, you know, 6, 7 fish on a single piling, but yeah, you hook one, they're kind of all, they'll get wise quick, man. Could be those croaker again, though. Tack plastic croakers. We're gonna have to experiment too. Maybe just putting like 3 sand fleas on a single hook, and they're all wiggling and going crazy is the move too. You know, this stealthy 1 sand flea at a time might be for the birds. See some shrimp jumping here too. A lot of bait here, shrimp everywhere. Little tiny shrimp. Less croakers, less pinfish here. Definitely weirder. More bait. This side of pilings, but not much else. Bait everywhere here, man. Hard. Is that a croaker? Wow, look at that. That's a good one for, you know, these, for here. It's not giant. A little bigger than I expected to catch around these parts though. Yeah, I don't know. The sand fleas are kind of hard. I'm not that crazy about them overall. They're definitely better than nothing, though. I can tell you that. You're getting bites, you know. They're just hard to work, and probably not my top choice. Hey, mud crab good, right? spot. Look at that. Wow. Old school, man. Big trout like these things, man. Spot. Big trout. Big flounder too, man. Sorry, camera fritzed out. I'm trying to find some more fish somewhere here. It's cool to catch a spot. That was one of the bigger ones. Man, I remember the good old days of those things too. To some degree. They're pretty good to eat. They're usually not that big though. 6 feet of water here. Okay, that was something there. Let me try the old foot piling hold grip. Okay. Might have to be a little more patient now. I don't know. Conditions changed. Patience is back. Bite might have fizzled frazzled on me. I think it's small stuff. Yeah. Little spots, little croakers on this piling set. So we're gonna move. Biggest croaker was what, probably 10 inches, not even 11. Makes me think too. Now I'm like, sand fleas versus fiddler crabs. I'm definitely gonna say fiddler crabs are what you want. There's definitely more junk fish showing interest in these things. I gotta try to fish maybe really tight to these pilings. They're 6 feet deep now, so shouldn't be spooking too easily. I think I'm gonna go back to those other pilings then. This set didn't really negative mood or no fish. I'm not sure. I'm having a hard time figuring out why I can't get a good bite here. Yeah, all right. This set of pilings just got the croakers, man. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out of here a little bit and try somewhere else. Okay, another spot's up here. Somewhere here. It's gonna be all submerged stuff. I have it marked. I've got flounder here in the past. Not too much else, so we're trying it this way. It's a little 16th ounce ball jig. I have Vanford. These are nice for the price. But anyway. Okay, we gotta make sure not trash our kayak here. Somewhere here there's some submerged stuff. I think I just went over it. Okay. It's gonna be interesting. Here we go. I can see the current rip I'm following. It's gonna be interesting. I can't see anything though. I'm sure somewhere here there's a piling or two. Just gotta try to fish vertical and not hang up and try our best. See how this works. I spot had just way too many croakers and those other critters, huh? Let's see if this one's any better. Not seeing it, but I know it's there. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it ain't there. Line dropping those sand fleas now. I think a lot of these croakers and pinfish, all that spot stuff just showed up in mass. Let's see what that is. Small black drum. Okay. Something different. Palm size one. One problem now is I'm going to be slipping, guessing, trying to get back on spots more. I should be able to a couple times. No visual cue makes it a little difficult. I'm using fish finder a little bit, but only so much that's going to do for me probably. Got to try to find the sheep hole or something like that. Just guessing, man. This is embarrassing. This is kind of embarrassing. Whoa! I could see stuff all over my sonar, but I think a lot of it is pinfish and croakers and stuff like this. Might be better to start throwing lures to try to fish through a couple of those jokers. Should be some more fish though. I could see the structure, the way that current's moving right there though. Okay. So that, a little speckled trout, sand flea trout. Sorry, dude, come on. Okay. He's got me in something there. All right, got him out. Let's see what this is. Sheep? Yeah, cool. I don't know why that other set of stuff just didn't have anything good. Seems like here I got more life too. Oh man. Well, goobering it up though. Nice. Okay. Decent saltwater sheep. That's a good one. Is that keeper number 4? Yeah. On the ultralight tackle too. Oh, you know, I'd say it's almost ultralight. Some lean looking sheeps out here though. All right. Okay. I think I got a groove and some confidence back. You lose it. It sucks. I felt like I was, fishing blind for the last 20-30 minutes at least. Just no rhyme or reason, no idea. No, I think we got it a little bit. We're back. Wise fishing's back. That sheepshead took his time to eat too, but now I think it's deep enough I could just drop vertically on their heads, 6 feet. I'm a little more comfortable trying to do this now. 3-4 foot trying to drop right on their heads is a little, I don't know, feels like it's not going to work out. Okay, I got to try to find where it was. I think I see this piling here. Barely see them, man. How did I even see that one? Without polarized glasses, you wouldn't see these. Probably make the fish more aggressive though. I'm surprised I didn't get an oyster toadfish here too. They like the shallow stuff. Get a lot of other options too, what you might find, what you might not. Okay. Just really trying to work with the current right here. Seems like it's keeping me in check. Perfect positioning right here. I'm surprised I didn't see a red drum here though. I can't believe we haven't seen a red drum with all these other fish, right? Shallow reds bite chain. People in Virginia are saying like this is some of the worst shallow water red drum fishing in years. Speckled trout too. It seems like, and I'm hearing even in the Outer Banks, like speckled trout fishing took a hit. I don't know about the red drum, but a lot of spots, yeah, the red drum, speckled trout, like this year's not very good. Maybe it's gonna recover, but sheepshead seems on par. Like this shallow stuff this seems on par. There's a lot of sheepshead that are very hard to target out there in the ocean. They probably get very little pressure, and will always. They're just so hard to hook, where to fish, current. They aren't the easiest. I mean, eventually, like anything, you can get to them. Like Tog has withstood insane amounts of pressure over the years. I don't know if it's as good as it was. It's probably still pretty good, at least. I got no idea where I'm fishing visually. It makes it hard. I think I hit high tide already, though. I think we're getting much more water than this. So, wind's kicking up. Bite's tough. All right, keep looking around here a little bit. Okay, that's where I had that last sheep's head, but I don't want to get back on that one. I didn't get any more bites there. Let me see if I can see anything else here somewhere. Lose your visual cues, it gets harder. This is all visual. Like a fish finder, man, a little bit. It's giving me an idea, but it's not what I'm needing. Really do need to see what I'm looking for. Gone. I don't know, I'm supposed to, I'm trying here. I see one piling down there. It looks like a rock. There's some shit down here. Rocks, pilings, a bunch of stuff. Okay. All right, there's a lot of junk fish. Getting those sand fleas quick, though. All right, next set. These gotta be like pinfish or just something so small and ridiculous. Can't make it. Try again, then try again. High tide bite doesn't exist. Okay, making another drop now. There we go. What is that? Not terrible by any means. Want to keep track. They're 10 and like 10 and a half, yeah. All right, definitely not as big as I thought. I thought that one might have been getting close to 12. The biggest one I've caught here in the last few years has been about 13 inches. Last few years has been a couple. I got a 14-incher. I forgot about him. After a hurricane, I got a 14-incher in one of the spots, which was cool. Really shallow up on the grass now. I don't know. Might probably shut down for slack now. A little harder. Just waiting for one to actually do something. It's hard. You gotta just, wait. Because there's so many croakers down there, you just don't know. Black drum? Yeah. Wait. You're like, okay, finally. Something different. All right, that's a black drum. Okay. Black drum minimum size is 14, same as the sheepshead. This guy's he's probably a 13 and a half, 14-incher, but I'm okay. Don't want to be messing around too much. It's the second one of those we got today. Absolutely, the junk fish have arrived in mass with slack tide. Like, definitely I had like at least 4 or 5 bites there, and just like You don't want to set the hook into anything because it feels like it's all like that small stuff just pop up. I mean, I know those sheep are in this shallow water too right now, but everything seems to be a little more finicky. Overall, it's been decent. I would say for shallow water fishing, this has been a decent bite compared to a lot of how it has been. You're judging the success of your trip based off keepers, for sure. I think we're about to wrap this up on this zone. Caught fish. Just one sheep here and one black drum. Tide's making this hard. Just a little too much guesswork, I think. That's never good. A little more certainty helps. Gonna have a nice easy ride home at least, so that's good. Alright, about to make my next move here. We'll see. The sand fleas aren't that bad. I don't know how often I'll use them, but use them today, right? Sheepshead? Yeah. Okay, getting a couple, getting them. Got company here, so we're gonna keep it a little quieter. A little bit more on the down low, probably about 14 inches. Got hung up immediately. See if there's anything there. Water got real murky on the outgoing here. Falling tide bite, come on. Let's see before we take it home. Bite really turned off on the last hour of the incoming. Alright. I think we're winding down here. My guess. Trying to find some clear water. Got real dirty on the switch here. Yeah, bite got weird, real weird. Seemed like fish were active this morning, but now not so much. 85-degree water. It's hot. I don't think it's hot enough for no bites to happen though. Start riding the tide back and call it a day. You know, falls in line. There's a window with a bite, right? That's pretty much what I'm expecting. Flatties. Little one, but flatties. Sand fleas. Simple fishing is the most enjoyable part about all this, though. I do like that. Just is very simple, very enjoyable. Not too much to this. Oh, a small black drum now. These fish just showed up out of nowhere. They definitely weren't here to start. They're all like 12, 13 inches. It's good because there hasn't been there hasn't been that many black drum around here. Next year there'll probably be another class, a little bit bigger. So that's a good thing. Every piling's got one of these things. Okay. It's a poacher's dream. I don't know, maybe I'll do one more trip here. Definitely seemed like it was fishier than it might normally be. Medium fishiness. Give it a medium. 6.5 out of 10. Definitely plenty of action. Some decent sized fish here for sure. Every piling's got a black drum. It's kind of a different thing. I don't know. I guess that's what sand fleas are good for, right? They'll catch some small drum. There we go. Yeah, that tide's a turn. Oh, I lost him. There's a sheep. Dang. Dango. Tide got a turn. Start getting bites. You know, you get to experiment with bait, pretty often in saltwater. I think there's a lot of versatile baits that are probably underused too, like barnacles and mussels. Mussel clusters, mustard. There's a lot of ways to probably get it going. Creativity is definitely there. Tons of different types of crabs, shrimps. You got your store baits like frozen shrimp. Some are going to do a lot better. You know that, right? Don't need me to tell you that. But there's always like surprises. Even that fish bite stuff, looks like it's a pack of synthetic nothing, and it works pretty good. Yeah, it seems like I'm not getting any more bites up here. It's time for me to start heading in, though. Let's see the time here. Big lull, You got hour of nothing happened there, for sure. One last idea here. Yeah, you catch a fish, man. It's more than sometimes how it goes down. Running low on the fleas. Not there yet, but it's coming. Got to give this Vanford a nice bath when we get home. I do want to get one more sheepshead for the table. All right, I don't think there's going to be much else I could do here. All right, let's start working our way back in. Call it a day. Caught a bunch of fish at least. Okay, I know it's been a minute. This is a lot longer than I like to go without uploading. Got the old heat wave getting old man alive, so got a sheepshead. Okay, all right, so that's a decent one for where we were fishing, I'd say. This measuring board is a liar. It says 21 incher. He's about 20. So, let's see. Got a little bit of an angle here. I'm trying to keep stuff in the shade a little better, but okay. And we'll do the usual. A little Q&A. Getting rusty. Confidence isn't there. It's going to be a mess. But hey, let's go through the comments of the last 4-hour video and get going. Just one fish to fillet. Alright, I should start from the bottom instead of reading the most recent comments. I feel like that's more relevant to the people that, you know, comment more. Alright, so let's get it going. Alright, last 4-hour video, which was deep in the reeds. I was fishing shrimp lures in the brackish water. Leslie 7879. Fish quit biting when they haven't eaten enough to fulfill their metabolic requirements. See if their feeding cycles. Gosh, it's the sun. It's the, you would think I can't read. See if the feeding cycles are related to solar phases. Yeah, a lot of good points there. Fish, sometimes will give you a reactionary eat on occasion, even if they're not going to want to eat. But like in terms of them just straight up feeding on you, I think you got a point, and that's a good point. They feed up and they shut down. Some fish just feed a little bit in the morning and they're done. I agree. So Sheepshead, got to go in through the back pocket there. I don't know if I've showed that. I've showed that a lot. I don't start from the top of the spine. This is a lot harder after a 90-degree day on the water, honestly. One of the reasons I think sometimes the 16 inches are a little bit better to clean is the scales are a little bit easier to cut through. Like the 26, 27 inches are like armor, man. It is a hard fish to fillet. Okay, what else we got here? Sheepshead is, for saltwater fish, that's what we got. You want to use them in cuts in the flats or creek mouths, says Anthony DeLanzo, in terms of the shrimps. Yeah, I guess that. I think I've fished shrimps in saltwater before a couple times, especially those lures. I'm not really targeting red drum too often because we do a lot of that. I've done so much slot red content, so just trying to change it up a little bit. So, see you with that. Alright, D-Man Gone Fishing. If your truck is cranking when you turn the key to start, so I had a bad battery that I was kind of talking about, it's most likely not the starter. It does, however, place a great draw on the battery when the key is engaged. Could cause the battery to go weak, dead or bad. I'm not even going to read through all of this. I had a battery that was just, 7 years old. It was charging itself through it was charging, but it wasn't holding the charge long, and when I went to go get it changed, definitely had a little bit of an issue that the guys at the mechanics were saying, hey, they didn't want to change it because they just said, hey, your battery's charged. And then they kind of hinted it might be the alternator. Long story short, another week later, I had some even more difficult starts. And I kind of said, okay, my 7-year-old battery is the problem. It's nice of them not to try to sell me a battery, but I had a feeling it was that. So I have a 2019 Nissan Frontier. The battery, it was 7 years old before I had to change it. So, yeah. And 7-year-old car. I have 120,000 miles on this Frontier. So, original battery. Made it all the way through. Okay, so that's how I fillet the sheepshead, right? I'm not the best at it, but there's a tiny amount of meat on the ribs. I usually think it's just not worth it. So this is going to come right off. The dark meat I'll clean up before cooking it. But they're pretty good. They go well with like citrus flavors, I would say. Sheepshead gets a nice little kick with that. Little citrus, the yield isn't the greatest on them, so a lot of times a lot of my commercial buddies, and a lot of my commercial, I have like 2 commercial friends that make it sound like I know every. 2 of my commercial friends always say they don't pay that well on these fish because the yield is pretty low, and then making the guys fillet them is kind of hard. Yeah, I could see it. If I had to like fillet 10 of these a day for customers guiding, I think I'd get it. Like, it would be... Oh, this table. It's almost done. Time for a new one. I think I've got a new one in the garage. Upward motion so you don't fight the scales as much. These fish are lean. All the ones I caught today in that shallow water, like, they're a lot leaner than they should be. Like, there's not much forage for them, I think. There was no red drum. Yeah. Like, this is not like a healthy, fat, plump sheepshead. It's a pretty lean one, so, you know, take it as you will. It seems like the deep water's got a more stable environment for a lot of fish right now. Alright, RI-JM5TN. Very enjoyable eyes. I had talked myself out of fishing in the rain this morning, but watching this had motivated me to get on the water. Yeah, right now, based on the way things are going this summer, I usually avoid after the rain, but it's given some cooler water temperatures, right? Just after rain in the flats and shallows, and things have just been so hot. You know, a little bit of rain's gone a long way. Hit the gallbladder by accident. Whew, man. I'm sweating. I just got out of the shower. Sweating again. So, I don't know. I think in terms of fishing, 90 degrees is the cutoff point. You know, you change, you get older, it's harder to power through it. It's not impossible, but like to do it all the time, and then put on that big YouTube smile like, oh, this is the best thing ever. No, you really need the better conditions. Lower humidity, you know, to just see what's doing on a 90-degree day now. That's it. Fishing sucks. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not trying to be too elitist about it, but what is the brand of the shrimp? Brad Hiss wrote 6057. What is the brand of the shrimp liquid you use on the Voodoo jig? Excellent channel, great videos on Ultralight. I use Procure shrimp typically on a shrimp lure. Sometimes I'll use a blue crab flavor. I like that Procure stuff in general. I think it matters a lot with the drum species, and every now and then it'll matter on other fish. So, all right, that's sheepshead filleting. Simple. There's not much meat on the cheeks. Everyone became a cheek expert, etc. It's not worth the squeeze. Good eating fish though overall. Should we see what's in the stomach? Yeah, let me get this last guy on ice, fillet him up, and then we're gonna check what's in the stomach, and then it's time to chill, man. Fished hard. So those sand fleas, what's my final verdict on them? Better than nothing, but I think the fiddler crabs and the mud crabs were much better choices. But, you know, getting crabs on these 90-degree days, even that I'm like not too excited about. So showing up with a bucket full of fiddlers, sand fleas rather, yeah, it's not that bad. Let's do it. Let's do it sometimes, man. Gives you plenty of action. All right, sheepshead. Tulip pup wants sheepshead. That we don't have to go online and log into the DMF too. So hang on, I'm gonna come back out here. Okay, last part here is what's in the stomach of this sheep. Let's see if we got anything in the stomach here. We got some stuff in the stomach, so let's see. It's usually shells for sheepshead, and today it's mussels. Yeah, all mussels. Mussels, mussels, mussels. Not too surprised. Alright. Very rarely do I find, every now and then I've found crabs. It's usually mussels, just weird stuff, seaweed, rocks occasionally. So, cool. Alright, I'm out. I got another day from the fiddler crab sheepshead sand flea comparison kind of trap. Deeper water was better that day for sure. tried the shallow stuff, but yeah. Didn't mean to ghost you guys. I was on a little bit of roll of fishing a lot, and then we got some real 90-degree days, back-to-back, consecutive. It took a toll on old man Elias. I got off the water, and I thought I was in trouble. I was really feeling like I was going to end up being in trouble when I got off the water. Drank 2 big bottles of water, everything. So I'll put that on the second half. But then the rest of the fishing trips have been quick, slower fishing, and not exerting myself because, yeah, your age catches up with you as you get in. 40, turning 40 next year, but yeah, things change on you. You can't quite do what you did before. So we got some rain finally, and we got a real quick window today. We're supposed to get more rain today, but I got all these fiddler crabs right here. They're getting ready to climb out. I don't know how much time we're gonna get. I have some sand fleas under them from a surf fishing trip that didn't work out, so I have been fishing, just things didn't work out. Got a lot of bait around. Hey, let's try to fish a little bit. This is definitely one of the cooler mornings we got. I'm expecting some fish are going to chew. It's humid, so lenses are going to fog up, and I have all these camera issues. Keep it uncut. That's what if the people want the uncut out of me, I'll gladly make the uncut. I can't really experiment too much or goof around too much. Let's figure out this bite first. Catch a couple fish. See if we're wasting time in spots. I don't know. I think I might have a moon tide. We're close to it. Either way, I know I'm going to have some challenging conditions. There's tons of bait around. Oh my goodness, and there's some mullet getting worked. Cool. This is like the first only cool morning we've had. So I think fish are going to bite pretty quick off the bat here. Let's see. It could have been gar working through. We'll see what shows up today. Maybe some of the southern fish, ladyfish, jack crevalles. There's been a couple of sharks way up the backwaters too, so I'm watching. Left my sunglasses at home, unfortunately, but I went straight to a fiddler crab just now. First good rainfall, I'd say, in at least 2 months, right? I think we got maybe a ½ inch in the last day or two, so that's more than typical. More than we have been getting, so we'll see if it does anything. Besides getting hung up. What's my boy Andre Leon say? That guy, there's a YouTube guy who makes short videos that are really good actually for shorts. He says, I dropped this down and got hung up immediately. And I did. Okay. Well, let's see. Bet you there's gonna be a little bit of feeding going on today, though. This is like the most north winds we've had. North winds will set stuff off for sure. Get back here, fella. No. We're gonna have crabs running around our deck all day today, I think. Trying to get away from us. I'm hoping finally something happened here. Overfilled that bucket a little bit. I had sand under there. There's sand fleas in this bucket. He's just gonna watch me. You're just gonna watch me manage bait and fumble around with it instead of catching fish, probably. I'd like to get a couple sheepshead for the table, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. It's been a little weird. They haven't been shallow, and I keep trying shallow, more to diversify content, because you don't want to see me fish the same exact spot over and over and over again. So I'm trying some shallow trips, and they haven't been that great. I'm not gonna lie. Because I want to start doing the artificial sheepshead stuff, and that seems to be easier up shallow. Now, I just saw a red drum or something on the bank there, a flounder. Say, hey, I'm gonna eat you. All right. We might have some feeding going on today, though, actually. That northeast wind is always, I like that. You get a northeast wind in the summer. I hate prolonged northeast winds in the fall. They can kind of suck, but in the summer, they'll definitely change a couple things quickly on you. All right, we got a couple bites here. Let's see if anything materializes out of it. We're on the EPDL, so we don't exhaust ourselves. This guy's got that electric assist function, so it helps me a lot. And now I'm just dropping fiddler crab straight down on the bottom. Just drop it straight down. Yeah, the shallow bite's been off, man. It's like most of the fish have been out deeper. This should change something now, finally. Man, that north wind feels good. Just don't kick up too quick, too fast. All right, so yeah, we got rocks and a lot of rocks here. I think we're gonna go shallower. So this is where I'm starting now. It's like 7-8 feet. I see life here. I see like bait moving around. I did see 1 or 2 blow-ups for sure. Not many. Could have been flounder, you know. There's a lot of fish that could be blown up on bait here. Oh, we had a little bite here. I think I actually have a real fish on here. Oh man, I missed him. Using a 1/4 ounce sweeper. Oh well, one crab goes back, gets his freedom there. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to manage all these guys probably. There's definitely a few fish out here in 4 feet or so. I don't know if they're all worried. They're all croakers and small fish like that though. Okay, I see a little something happened there. I hope we can get one-stop shopping today. That'd be nice. Maybe with some luck. It's been 90 degrees in some spots this year. All right, it's time to move already. But sometimes the biggest sheep do end up shallow. I don't know if it's already happening though. You know, is there an oxygen squeeze? Have conditions really changed like that quickly? Could have been. Could have, definitely could have happened already. All right, we're 10 minutes into fishing now. Nothing landed, but we've had bites, so. Okay, I gave that, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, nothing happened there. So moving over to the next spot, try a little bit further up somewhere here. I know there's scattered stuff kind of everywhere, so I shouldn't commit anywhere very long. Most things fishing, you know. And over here, there could be a couple fish. There's tree branches, so that's good too. Literally scattered bait, scattered structure everywhere. Just find somewhere where the drift's right, I guess. Let's see, man. There should be some fish here too. Really heavy tide. Got the rainfall, got a couple changes finally. Rainfall and a heavier tide than typical, so. If I had to guess, water here is probably 84, 85, so, and it cooled off, right? So this is like the first good cool off. 84 is hot, but don't get me wrong, that's like fish are still gonna bite. 90, 88, 89, that's real rough stuff, man. So I think, I would say like one of the things you always wanna look for though, if you wanna find some sheepshead out, some fish really shallow sometimes that haven't been, I think one of the most important things is you got to look for that oxygen squeeze, right? Like something has to change that, you know, really change the oxygen. So I guess not yet, right? It's still pretty clear. It's a little dirtier than it has been, but not enough to really make me say, okay, these are simple things to do here. Yep. All right, let's go out a little deeper then. I hope you're still with me. I gave that like 10, 15 minutes. I even edited it down a little bit. I always feel like there's, you need a change to get stuff out of the deeper water sometimes if they're, you know, they're in a pattern, right? Here it's been, there's no oxygen squeeze. There's no reason for stuff to move. It's been the summer of stability, really stable. So let's push out to like 10 feet, see what happens. And maybe 20 feet after that, I don't know. I'm trying to avoid the large drum they're still around because, you know, I don't want to beat them up in the hot water. So I'm trying to stick to shallow fish. Water got dirty though, for sure. It definitely got dirtier with the rain, so usually don't like that, but it's needed. So to cool off the water a little bit, maybe we'll get a couple bites going before those storms behind us start to really push in. I don't know, I just cut out a bunch of stuff with nothing happening. Weird. It's been weird. Usually there's some fish up shallow by now, but I guess nothing's changed. It's summer of no change, right? If the habitat's comfortable out deep, there's food out there. Pogies everywhere out deep, so I've seen that already. Bet you the fish I want to catch are still out deep. See how fishable it is right now. I'm gonna go to heavier jig though first. I think I'm gonna need this. I do have wind against tide, always tough. I think I could use a 1/2 ounce here. Now there's bait everywhere here. Oh my goodness. Hope we see something up top. We might. Okay, 12, starting 12 feet, see what happens. Not marking too much, which is okay. I'm sheeping. I'm just sheeping around. Why leave the deep water, I guess, if you don't have to. Decent little sheepshead there. Find me pretty good. All right, first bite there. Healthy looking sheepshead. All right, this is drop number 4 or 5. I'm out in some deeper water now. I don't know if I want to keep any sheepshead. I kept a couple of those delicious shell crackers. He spied me pretty good. 1, 2, 3, wink. Overconfident. Okay, wow. Do you want to? That was it. We started at. That's it. Definitely took me a minute to find some life, and I was hoping I'd find some different bite finally. Just shallow. Everything's deep. Still deep. I'm not that surprised, but I'm just like, nothing wants to change. I'm looking for the bite to change, and it's just, there it is, same way. We'll see how many sheep we get here. That's one, that was a keeper. Oh yeah. Is that the toadfish? It's a toad. 100%, that's hilarious. Great toadfish run. All right, let's re-rig. All right, so I hate sometimes that the leader breaks there, but what are you gonna do about it? Guess we'll drift around for a moment. Current's not that fast right now, so. That toadfish. Sneaky toad. Okay, so let's see what we should do here. I felt that thump from him afterwards. It was like a quick dig down. It's the toadfish doing that stuff. Glorious toadfish. Okay, let's get another sweeper ready. Oh, man. Well, it's getting kind of nice out, actually. There's definitely going to be some pop-up thunderstorms coming our way. Toadfish, what the toadfish do is they'll bite and then they'll get you in those rocks pretty quick. You're done. Before you know, lightning fast. They don't come off the bottom really, honestly. They just kind of are really good at getting you in their house pretty quick. And sometimes if the conditions are a little wonky, like right now, before you know it, set the hook here. Set the hook into his tree, which he buried himself into. And those freaking toadfish, man. Caught them anywhere from, you know, way up shallow in the estuary. I think I've caught toads 40 miles offshore. I don't know. I'm curious what's the furthest the toadfish is willing to go offshore. Okay. Golly. All right. Looks like there's a lot more life out deep still, though, based on, you know, our very basic sonar readings here. It's gonna be a point this wind just rips and kind of sends me home, though. Next toadfish we know. Gotta set the hook immediately. Oh, I lost him. Do not hesitate. Guess I'm just hyper fixated when, you know, tried shallow, and I was like thinking to myself too, like, you know, I know there's a bite shallow, but I'm like, it's somewhere for sure, but I'm just like, no, I'm just hyper fixated on what I know, I think, right now. Feels like a drum. I don't know, this feels kind of weird. It's definitely a red. I think this is like a upper slot or over slot. Doesn't feel like a really big one, but it's slot red, okay. Should be a few of these around now. Maybe not a slot, but he's close to it. Surprised they've been out deep too. It's been so strange with that. I should never be surprised to catch a slot red, but I'm not catching slots shallow at all. Like every slot red I've caught in the last, I've done the members only videos, they've all been like 10, 25 feet. It's just really, yeah, that oxygen squeeze hasn't forced them out. Oh, maybe he's over. He was barely over if it's an over slot, but probably 28 incher or so. Crazy stuff. All right. I don't know. Could probably catch a couple jigging. That's good though. I'm glad at least there's some slots around. I've been catching them. But usually I catch them just doing other goofy stuff and not too much out deep. But this year was this year. All right, that was a slot probably. I would say. I should have measured him because I'm saying he's a slot. Probably 28 incher on that fiddler crab. Tops. Definitely not over 28 though. A lot of blue crabs here. I'm feeling them freaking bumping my, I think the blue crab, some crab-like is grabbing them and trying to run away with them. You can feel these little blue crabs going, making all these weird moves, so I don't know. Got 2 bites here, 3 actually. One was a toad, right? We didn't, he broke us off. Could try jigging, but I don't know, for some reason it's not drawing it. I have a feeling with the struggle I'm having getting bites on fiddler crabs, no jigs, right? Just like this. Maybe I should lay off the fiddlers for now. Not the fiddlers, the bucktails and stuff. There's definitely a few fish here though. Yeah, that was a crab. I could tell. Like they have like this kind of funny bite to them. All right, and you know, it could be just 1 or 2 fish a spot. There's no reason there should be much concentrated right now, I don't think. There's definitely like a bunch of jacks or something under me. I don't know, I'm almost tempted to start dropping jigs here. Maybe those were gar. Something was under me there though. That was pretty juicy at least. Come on. Feel them fish pick this little jig up and then drop it though. Big sheep, I think. Nah, that's no sheep. Another slot. Yeah. Reds just showed up. All right. There he comes up right there. It's a nice size to bucktail too. These slot reds like this. Same size as the other fish. There's been a lot of these fish around too, though. It seems like there's less of a class of like 30, no, not 35s, like 26, 28s. Been a lot more 29s, like this size right here. I'm gonna take a measurement of this one because I'm curious. My eyeballs are right. It's a good size to jig, though. I should probably start jigging a little bit too. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on, dude, just 2 seconds. All right, 20, 28, okay. 27 is the maximum size you can keep, so I'm not really even interested in keeping them, just judging my eyeballs there. So yeah, these are like uppers and overs over here. All right, make a little wiggle, see what else we can find here. Come back there, we could probably jig those fish a little bit too. Or should I try jigging them now? Let me try jigging them now. Screw it, right? You know we'll catch sheep. We might see that Jack Crevalle or something like that. They've been around more this year than ever. Gotta put a bucktail on. This is a Berkeley Fusion bucktail. It's a nice one for the price. You can pick them up right now. I just found them for like $3.49. I don't know how long that's going to last. We might see a Jack. I would like to see one. I haven't caught a Jack Crevalle in a few years, so I know they're around almost every year, right? But last year I hooked one, so I get like 1 or 2 shots at them. Not too many though. But anyway, I hope we don't get flounder. I haven't seen too many flounder. I've actually seen no flounder out. It's been weird, just the mix of fish and what's using what. Like more reds using deeper water, which is weird. And then flounder are all up shallow, which they should be. We'll see if there's any flounder out here. Some years there's a lot of flounder out deep, and then other years there's none. So that changes nearly every year, in my opinion. All right. Still a Daiwa Fuegos 2500. It's a good size for the mid-sized drum. 30, 40 pound Jack Crevalle is going to get crazy, but we've done it. I've done them on the 2500s. It's a little bit of a, it's interesting. All right. I see a lot of bait up top. I mean, I think there's going to be maybe a surprise or two here. Yeah, I see a lot of pogies rolling around here. So I'll take this drift a little bit. It's 0.6 miles an hour, so it's perfect speed actually. I'm trying to jig on these schools of bait here. So all this bait, this is menhaden and pogies, bunker, grass, moss bunker, whatever you want to call them. Usually fish do tail them at somewhere, especially when you get into some of this deeper water. You see blow-ups though sometimes. Sometimes not always. Sometimes not always. Could be fish under them more. Like reds will get under them, and bluefish, jacks, sharks. So a lot of stuff will just go right under them. Trout, occasionally, not very often, but ladyfish. There's a lot of fish we could see under these guys right here. Cute idea. I think the jigging bite's gonna work. not sure. Something small, just croaker maybe. Only thing is, like, sheepshead are, you know, the most common of the warmer water fish around here, and they'll be, you know, pretty active in the dead of summer and up to about 89, 88, right? You know, the reds get moody on artificial, and yeah, you're really hoping for something cool like a jack. Pompano can be another one, right? Pompano are pretty tolerant of heat. They just really get selective in the areas they want to be too. I don't think it's out of the question at all to maybe see one of those chokers if you're in the right zone. Black drum can tolerate the heat, but they don't. Yeah, they get really not so aggressive, I'd say. But catching a black drum, it wouldn't be weird at all. All right, I think that's all I might need to see there. It's been 2 or 3 minutes with this little bucktail down here. I think I would have gotten bit once or twice. I hate that didn't work out at all. Maybe I'll cast it a little bit. Let's see if I regret this and hang up. Okay, it's time to take this back off then. Go back to the sweeper. Time to go somewhere else. I don't want to go anywhere else though, man. I wouldn't say I'm lazy. It's just like, you know, you travel a lot. You get, I wouldn't say burnt out of it. It's like, oh, go to the Chesapeake Bay. Go here. Go somewhere else. I know the bite's hot in other places. I'm just grinding right now, right? But I'm still having fun. Sit in some air conditioning after this. Chill out. That's not so bad. Damn, there's a lot of fish in this zone now. Let's see if anything's good. Oh my goodness, this has been hard. Wind's starting to kick up now. It's supposed to kick up before the storms hit today. It's nice that it's east. East is usually the better, you know, more relaxing wind, I'd say. But only so much you can do on that end too. Yeah, I don't think there's that many sheepshead either. I think it's just a few reds. Everything's taking break for the month of July a little bit. That seems to happen every year. There's like a 3-week window where you're just getting like some just random weirder bites that are hard. I'm not even getting the oyster toads to show up right now even. He was giving me the business earlier. Yeah, if you've been struggling, I've been struggling. Like, this has been getting like a couple sheep in the morning, maybe. Or yeah, I haven't caught a slot red actually. These are the closest I've caught to slots in a while. Last 2 weeks probably now. Maybe it's just the fiddler crab is inferior. Nah, I don't think it has too much to do with the fiddler. We'll use 2 of them just in case we got really tempt somebody to bite. I mean, it looks like there is a lot of fish here. I mean, even the junk fish, right? You know when it's bad when you're barely getting like robbed by croakers and just the smaller sheepshead. Like a lot of times there is a lot of like 10, 13, 14 inch sheepshead, and they can be a menace trying to catch them. I think our window's ending though. That wind's kicking up. I'm sure you're starting to feel it. I'm going to move my microphone just side of my head, so I don't know. I don't think I got an option here. Yeah. Nice work, Elias. I think those are local fish coming out of like the hotter creeks and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not seeing any gar or anything like that. Everything's definitely summer doldrum mode. Take what you can get this time of year. It's kind of like February. Be happy you're on the water. Life's good. Be happy life's good on the water. I hope life's good for you on the water when you can get on it. And that's it. Just temper expectations. Expectations are the death of joy, right? Not every time, but this time of year, yeah, when you know that water's just at its hottest. A lot of bait running around though, you know. I haven't seen a Spanish mackerel inshore in a while too. Ooh, finally got a bite. I had to do nothing here for a long time to get that bite, huh? Someone just bumped it and walked away with it. Pushed it out of the way. Some tough bites. Those blue crabs are out here and they're definitely like the hardest, you know, they beat up your baits, they grab them, and then the predator ain't gonna get to them. All right, well, let's try some sand fleas. Do have a few of them in here, so might as well try them. Fish might be like, hey, I haven't eaten this before. Or yeah, for all I know, fish are gonna be like, I like sand fleas better than fiddler crabs. I'm curious, because that fiddler crab bite's not very good, so got like 30 minutes left of fishing. I got these sand fleas in this bucket too. Let's see. Maybe they're gonna do much better. Got a certain smell to them. Maybe the fish are like, oh, that smell. I don't think these fish have ever seen it. Oh my God, I got a bite on the sand flea immediately. What? Fish is like, I hate that. What is that? Get your fiddler crabs out of here, bro. Cool. It's interesting. Did you expect that? I don't know. The minute I put that sand flea on, though, different flavor. This could be the exact same fish I hooked, that first fish I hooked, honestly. We gotta go back and look at spot patterns. You know, I've definitely caught reds, 10, 20 minutes apart, same spot, same fish, rather, over and over. I mean, yeah, there's a chance. There's definitely a chance that's another one of the same fish. Okay, just keep biting. I've caught the same red 2 times in like 10 minutes, I know that. And sheepshead. Sheepshead's only happened to me a couple of times, so. All right, fish like sand fleas, we know that. I haven't used sand fleas that much inshore, so let's see, maybe. Maybe it's the bait, That fish really didn't like the sand flea though. He showed up, he ate it. He was like, fuck, get this shit out of my face. Let's see. Try another one. Can you imagine like that was the whole problem to fiddler crab sucks? And that's what I showed up with primarily? It's very possible. That'll be good to know though. I feel like sand fleas are more popular forage for fish for more of their lifespan than fiddler crab. I don't think most fish get their hands on fiddler crabs, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of fish do get their hands on sand fleas at some point in their life, especially as juveniles. Nah, sand flea's no magic silver bullet that's gonna take the bite 0 to 60 immediately. Got some storm clouds brewing. Clock is ticking, man. I tried today. I got 4 fish today. One was a sheepshead. Maybe I should have kept that sheepshead, I'm thinking. The wind's starting to kick up though, as forecasted. There's slot reds everywhere here, isn't there? Oh, lost that one. That's okay. Yeah, I don't think that made a difference one bit, going from that type of bait to another. Never hurts to find out and experiment though, right? Now I'm swinging on everything. I'm getting impatient, missing bites, swinging away. Oyster toad got me. Oh, but I got him out. I know what he was trying to do. I think that was an oyster toad. Oh, tree branch. All right, fiddler crabs, sand flea, don't matter. And it's summer doldrums. These sand fleas, I braked them the other night. Got about, I don't know, 12 and a half, I'd say. Quick little trip too for that. Make one drop here. Probably a lot of slot reds around though. I mean, over slots here. Usually there's like a squeeze by now. Like I call it, it's like an oxygen squeeze, right? Like a lot of just deeper stuff becomes really empty. And it seems like it hasn't really happened this year, which is unusual. Oyster toadfish trying to get me, man. He's down there. We need one, right? I feel like I need one appearance from an oyster toad. Trying my best to all this. You have no idea. I mean, maybe you have an idea how hard this can be in the summer. Just to even do like the fiddler crab dunking. Good bites still happen. Don't get me wrong, but you get the grindy days like this too. I had totally different intentions for today. Go shallow, fish that stuff, and then nope, didn't work out. And then you just hang up over and over and over again. Okay. I think a lot of times what happens too when you get a bite and then you hang up, even if it's not an oyster toadfish, it's a blue crab. He grabs your bait, then he kind of goes into his little cavern, and you're like, man. Yeah, and blue crabs are famous for that. Another slot red. And this one's slightly bigger. Trying to get him up quick here. There he is. Trying to keep it under 3 minutes, 4 minutes this fight. This way. Surprised we still got a couple bigger ones around. Leopard print one. That's cool. Probably a 34, 35 incher. Definitely not a giant. There goes a lip gripper almost. Good job, Elias. Still there, almost goes a lip gripper. Golly, I suck at this. These lip grippers aren't the best, huh? My little dorky plastic one might be better. All right, I'm gonna leave him in the water, because we know what he looks like. The water's kind of hot, so it's probably like a 35. Go, dude. Current's pretty strong too. There he goes. Whew. Cool. couple overslots, that makes some sense. That one, 35-incher or so. Let's see if we get anything else here before we call it. Generally like cranking down on the drag, especially this time of year. This way you don't fight them for very long. I mean, if you're good with a quick picture, it doesn't hurt, but you know, if that fish was in like 12 feet of water, sometimes when they're in 30 foot of water and it's hot, it's a lot more stressful. That's why I don't target. We got some big black drum in a couple spots here, but I leave them alone in the summer. It's just, I think it's just too much on them. And we got those clouds going. I think it's time to go, guys. Make that last drop here. Last one. Boop, boop. Nothing for dinner. There ain't nothing wrong with a quick drum picture, I don't think, in my opinion, certain time of year. But this time of year, I'm not pulling any of them out of the water. The slots are fine, but those, 15-pound fish, I'm gonna leave them. All right, I think it's time to go. I don't think there's anything else here. Fished about 3 hours today, not that long. Sheep? Yeah, I think so. Loosen up a little bit here. All right, one for dinner. You coming? You coming for me? You coming with me? I know, it's kind of a bigger one. I feel a little bad. I'll let him go. That's all right. I don't know why I don't like keeping the bigger ones, but something just clicks with me to let the bigger ones go. But I'm gonna head in. It's a pretty big one, man. I don't know. Yeah, let's let this girl go. That is a big one. I don't like keeping those real big ones like that, honestly. So, having that indecision moment. But, yeah, it's probably like 20, 21 inches. Let me go. Let's see, maybe we'll get one more then. Maybe I found a little small group huddled up. I don't like the bigger ones that much personally. I think they don't. It's like they got that sweet spot of being like 3 to 4 pounds is usually the best tasting ones. All right, 2 sheep, 4 reds. Hey, summer doldrums, you're not there. I'm fighting them off. Fighting them off. I fish deep water way more than shallow water, so I'm just trying to change it up a little bit, but yeah. I was struggling on that. I was thinking about keeping that one, I'm not gonna lie. Problem is, you find a spot with a couple of these sheep, I think, what happens is the reds, they push them off, for sure. Reds are the #1 bullies down there, I think. Just trying to keep this vertical. That's the most important thing too. It seems like the more you bounce around like heavily, more likely you're gonna bring in a red drum too. All right, that bite kind of dried up on me. Gonna make one more drop. Got some storms brewing. It's getting hot too. So, hey, that's summer. At least it's not 90 degrees. It's going a lot better than yesterday was. And yeah. Those sunglasses started to wear on me too, though. It's always something, right? You can't ever, expect the perfect, doing everything perfectly, right? That's where you fall into those traps too. Perfectionist traps of all sorts. You always want to try to avoid those the best you can. You're gonna forget sunglasses, you're gonna forget sunblock, you're gonna forget water. It's just gonna happen. There's no perfect angler. Today I forgot the sunglasses. And I thought, I was like, as I was leaving the house, and I realized maybe 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes into driving, but pretty quickly into driving, I was like, you know what? It's supposed to be pretty cloudy today. We're gonna be okay. So the thing is too, one of the things I'm really trying to do here, gosh, is keep moving after I get, I don't know if that was something trying to follow up my fiddler crab right there. I know those drum are bullies, right? They're gonna come, and after I catch one sheepshead, they're showing up. That seems to be what they like to do. All right, man. The heat is making me quiet, tired. Maybe I can get one sheep for dinner here. Loosen up a little bit. I think that's a sheepshead. Maybe something else? I don't know. Oh no! No! You switch to sand fleas, you get burned. Burned. Burned! Oh no. What did I do? What did I do, guys? I brought on the skate. What did I do to deserve that? Oh man, I haven't caught one of those things in a while. Sweet. All right, we got a new species for the day though, the first skate of the year. All right, I caught a couple fish today. That was definitely well, on the tricky side, but caught some. Proud of it. Let's head in. Wind kicked up as forecasted. Got a little more time out here than I have been getting, so that's on the plus side, but it's getting lumpy. That wind's not going to back off anytime soon. It's supposed to really crank up with some afternoon thunderstorms. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. It seems like more of the same, man. It's like there's not much shallow anything going on. I don't know why the shallow bite's just not turning on and the deep water is still good. Because the water's, oxygenated enough and there's food down there. Lots of more of the same, I can't change that. So hopefully you still found that interesting. It seemed like sand fleas caught too. Caught a couple fish, right? So I think we 4 reds, 2 sheep. I should have kept that last sheep, but that's okay. Yeah, they're good to eat, but at the same time, I think I like the shell crackers and the crappies better. It's a hot take. I know that, some people really don't like freshwater fish. I think the red ears and the crappies, I think they do taste better. We'll see what else we can find. Yeah, really crazy stuff though. All right, we need some sunglasses and a little bit of shade. So, guys, see you on the next day. All right, here goes. Here goes. I've never fished here before. Looks cool. Straight up my alley. Nice deep water, lots of laydowns. Looks fun. Looks like it's gonna be hard, but. All right, first fish, second cast. All right. Cool, it's a crappie. Right, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Blackwater crappie. Okay, here's who lives here. I'm taking you guys to a brand new tidal creek. It's kind of salty. I tasted the water. And I got my first cast here. I'm trying some new baits today. Oh man, we got a loaded day of what we're gonna do. Blackwater crappie. So, got my kayak in a brand new spot today. It's kind of salty, so I was thinking this was gonna be pretty freshwater. So let's learn it together. It's my first or second thought here. I'm just throwing some baits along the trees here. I pedaled maybe a quarter mile since getting started here. Saw a blue crab. I think I saw a gar or two. Now I'm just throwing out some trees that are up on the bank here. I'm going to focus on a few miles worth of stuff. I guess trees is where it's going to be at for most of today, until we get some different signs of what to do. A little crappie action to get it going. This stuff's 15 feet deep here, so it's deep. But I'm going to just work my way along all this steep drop right here. There's a big drop from right up on the bank there to 15 feet where I'm sitting here. I'm seeing some logs submerged too. I have no idea. We could find anything from what you just saw, crappie, red drum, speckled trout, you name it, catfish. I don't know how many people fish here or how busy this might be, but we got incoming current. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I didn't expect salt water. It's pretty salty, like salty enough for sheepshead, I'd say. It definitely took me by surprise a little bit just now. This is like a big lay down here. We're gonna have some planes and a little bit of overhead noise here. Hopefully not too bad, but definitely gonna be a little bit. And we'll see what we find, man. Definitely hitting trees right away here. Gonna get in the 90s again. I'm hoping we're gonna get a little bit of breeze, man. But yeah, 90s again. Bit in the 90s. This is like, haven't been fishing too hard because it's been really, hot and kind of tropical, I'd say. Pretty tropical. I think there's some yellow perch in these tributaries that I picked today. There's a lot of different fish, so I'm exploring it out. Starting on the deeper points where structure, maybe a fish or two with some luck. So let's see. A little bite there. Probably going to take me a few minutes to get my bearings. So like, where do you cast? Where do you fish? How deep? I'm guessing most of the action is going to be less than 10 feet of water this time of year. I just don't imagine there being an amazing oxygen bubble. A little bite there. An amazing, chunk of oxygen down like 20, 30 feet. Because there is some really deep stuff to maybe work here. These are black water, tannic. They're cool looking, man. They definitely have a really cool vibe. Yeah, it's hard to say what you're going to bump into too, right? You have no idea. Might see gators too, so. Yeah, come join me, man. This is exploration. It's interesting. I didn't really expect to walk into a place that's pretty salty. I think you kind of like to cast, though. Right there, it's, it's shallower, probably 4 feet, a lot of lay downs. You get hung a lot, but just work your presentation back. You might get a little bit lucky. Not hang up. Down on the primordial ooze. I had like 2-3 bites here, but you know what? Nothing impressive. I think the name of the game, guys, we have to be pretty smart and just cover a lot of water, right? Beat the thunderstorms. So I'm throwing this thing. Look at this thing. Have you seen these yet? These look really good. It really caught my interest. I wanted to see how this fish is. It's like a little soft blade bait. Looks really good. Power vibe. Whew, it's gonna be a hot one today. I was hoping we'd get some breeze. Thought it was gonna get a little bit of southwest breeze to start right away, but no. It's gonna build throughout the day for me. Yeah, I gotta focus on that 10-foot drop. I don't know how many fish you can find that want to feed this time of year. I was kind of surprised to even pick up a crappie that active right away. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, lost him. Okay, this is an outside bend. Kind of textbook then. Trees and water everywhere here, so it's probably going to be a good scattering of fish. I think rule number 2 or 3 is I can't be afraid to lose stuff today, though. It's definitely going to be part of the game. Quick little hit. Man, I'm not too confident in fishing this stuff where there's no current, really. It's been the story this whole spring for the most part, no current. Looking at my 2D sonar, I'm seeing some lines come up and show some interest, so. Slow pause, long drop. All right. Different type of blackwater for sure. I feel like these trees, you got to jig under them a little bit though. Man, I don't know if you're sweating already, but I know I'm sweating just from the start here. Okay. You know, fish do like to spend like 5 feet down on trees like this. It's definitely true too. And where there's shade, right? Yesterday it rained a little bit, so probably the surface is cooler than anything down deep, my guess. I'm surprised we haven't seen any like signs of gators or anything like that too. This little jig slices down pretty good though. It's a 1/16 of an ounce. One crappie so far. Some really warm water, man. Okay. This thing's kind of cool though, not gonna lie. Alright, let's keep moving. I am freaking cooking. Let's try Gulp. That's what I think I'm gonna try here. What type of Gulp? I don't know. Got the Minnow Head here. What a goofy setup we got for the day. Shade, right? Shade's important. There's a lot of logs and trees and undercut stuff here. Oh, missed something there. Small. Blue pumpkin seed? Yeah, that's a pumpkin. Okay. Oh, see, dude. Alright. It's panfish here. That's alright. Trying some new stuff. We're going to figure it out. Got the Gulp Tadpole here. So, unlike where I usually fish, there's not much current here. Like, typically where I fish back a little south here, it's fast. Like even on low water, it's way faster than this. Brings its own set of challenges when it's this slow, current-wise rather. Okay, so definitely something's orienting to these logs here for sure. The cypress knees, whatever you want to call them. Kind of that dark water. Yeah, it seems like it's the similar principle, just ambush point, right? Wherever fish can have an ambush point, kind of right where the drop is. Seems like stuff loves that. Nothing else, just one. I guess probably it's important to avoid the bank with the sun, more sun on it too, I think. Alright, probably getting 1-2 bites a spot. Time of year. Ooh, this looks pretty good. I think there's a tree stump under me here or something like that. I could tell. Brush pile. Cool. Look at all the barnacles growing here, man. That's, and shells, yeah, there's definitely should be a lot of fish around here. It's an old tree. Surprised that's all I got here. One bite. Everybody knows the rule. Oh my gosh, I can see there's so much stuff here. Gotta be careful. And this was an old big tree that came down then. And there's a lot of barnacles on this stuff, man. Surprised I don't see like a sheepshead. It's interesting. I would expect them to be using some of this like mid structure here. Might still prefer to be closer to the shoreline than out there in no man's land, right? Oh, there's a fish. What do we have on the end of our line here? It's a crappie, little guy. Man, yeah, we got him. Got him on. I really had no idea what we'd find, especially after tasting the water, being salty. Fishing an old tree like this. Got a lot of this hydrilla here too, though. Hydrilla, that's invasive. Man, it's cool. All right, well, I think maybe we'll figure it out a little bit for today. Only took me about an hour. A lot of no point in filming stuff because it just felt so difficult. Kind of walk it out. Probably most of the fish that are feeding on anything here are coming off the bank a little bit, if that makes some sense. Like all the little tree branches got that hydrilla on them, so this might be a little tricky on that end too. Hunt and peck, you know? I don't know, you don't hear people talking about white too much in the brackish environments, but like most people seem to always go to chartreuse for like a off chartreuse, a brown, something like that. So we'll see if white's okay. I feel like white should be pretty good too here. Like 2-3 small bites there. But I think we got to just focus on these laydowns, and then we'll find our way for the day doing that probably. Yeah, I think unlike where I get to fish mostly, where sometimes like it's so obvious where there's going to be a few fish, I think here and some of these other kind of tidal areas, it's more one here, one there. Nothing too obvious on that end. Shade is probably going to be the most obvious thing I got for the day. It's the only reason I'm thinking about putting a float on. See how I get this stuff here. But I think even with the float, I'm going to hit some branches that are going to make me do that still. This is a 132 ounce jig. It's not very heavy, I think, no matter what. So I'm guessing most of these fish are just hanging right outside. Oh no, found our first tree of the day there. Nope, got it back, broke it off. What happened there? We down a jig, right? Keep moving a little bit. I'll retie them. Sure seems like fishing. Obviously, I found a body of water. I know that I can fish. But the question is, am I going to catch anything here? Okay, I got a 4-turn uni knot. Boom. So if you've never really fished these areas, pretty much everywhere on the coast, you get into different zones, you'll see different like things that say, how's that work? Like, for example, up in Maryland and Virginia, you're going to find some snakeheads in this place. In a place that looks like this, rather. You probably can't find this exact place in Virginia, but you can find something close that looks like this. So here we got, this was a little bit of a drive for me. But you know what, I kind of like this idea of you and me going fishing. If it sucks, I'm sorry. I'm hoping it's going to be pretty good. And let's try it, you know, that kind of attitude, right? See, there's definitely like some brush piles out here in no man's land too. But everything is covered in that hydrilla, I noticed that. The question is, do you try to jig some of this stuff? Like back home, when you run into a brush pile, you do try to jig it a little bit. I think we should try. We just ran over one here. I'm thinking right away, I should maybe just try a little bit. Yeah, this tree goes down in the water here. It's tricky stuff. Yeah, you definitely want to try to avoid, I think when you bump the trees, you get hydrilla no matter what. Okay. Hey, that just narrows it down, right? Like jigging. All right, not here, not this time of year, whatever you want to say, right? It ain't the thing. Different time of year, for sure, it could be the way to go. I think I got to focus on the cypress knees or trees right up on the banks. Take it from there. Bottom's all nice and sandy here, so there should be fish kind of scattered everywhere. Brutal, bro. Looks like the top of one. Oh, we got a fish. What's that? Oh, nice shell cracker, dude. Look at that. It's a nice fish for summertime. Oh no, I knocked over my gulp. I'm so good at doing that, aren't I? Shell cracker. It's not a bad one. It's right on the edge of those cypress trees, though. It's definitely working a deeper drop off. Put this one back, but he's probably like 8-9 inches. He's probably might be worth keeping. Let's see how many we start getting. we start really getting a few, I'm gonna start keeping a couple. Pretty annoyed at myself for knocking over my gulp, but I feel like I do that every trip. I'm good at it. So part of my hazing. Let's see, we got another one. He was pretty deep. I'd say what, 6 feet down? That's my guess. Real slow drop. So we got some pogies menhaden in here too. Pretty cool environment we picked. It's definitely got a mixture. 1 fish per spot. It would suck if that's how it is. You know, without worms rather. I'll tell you what, the stuff I'm seeing here is real spooky though. These are not timid fish at all. I mean, these are really timid out here. One problem is too, there's 2 problems I'm picking up on. One of them being, I think that was a gator I saw there. He went down. Definitely had one little alligator. I don't know how big he was, but his head went down just now as I came through here. Seemed pretty chill though. But yeah, one of the things I noticed too is shaded spots do not exist right now. I don't know if that's a midday thing or the cameras are overheating. This is awesome. I mean that, like, I meant that quite a bit sarcastically, as it's awesome to have all your gear overheat. Really wish I was picking up a breeze over here. I thought it would be. All right, I'm gonna work my way back up the other way then. Got all these schools of menhaden. That's cool as heck. Water's thick. A lot of the mullet running around. It's really cool. Yeah, I don't know about this whole idea. Whole McBreeze and shade. Find somewhere with shade, it ain't bad. That's really what I'm seeing here, okay? Somewhere with sun, it sucks. Okay, man, small fish on parade here. Whew, look at that. I think it's already getting into the 90s, man. It shot up quick this morning. If there's a breeze, it ain't so bad, but anywhere there's no wind at all, it's pretty rough. All right, so what are we learning here? Anywhere you're really seeing, you're looking for trees on the bank more than the white sand. The white sand does look good. All right, there you go. Tree on the bank, fish on. Another one of these guys. It's cool. These guys eat pretty good. Wish they were a little bit bigger. I know I'm being choosy, but I guess they're pretty tolerant of the hot water too. Shell cracker. They're definitely a midday fish in my opinion. I seem to catch quite a few more of them in the middle of the day than like off parts of the day. Like being on a deep bank. Well, it's 3 more than I typically catch on a outing. I'm only keeping fish in like an emergency, as in like it's, you know, I'm gut hooking fish, stuff like that. I think for the most part I'm not going to be gut hook. They're aggressive too. They're hitting pretty quick. I'm not having to wait very long, which is good in this heat. It's cool, those schools of bait. Growth all over these trees. And this water's salty, man. That's what's really cool too. It's like saltwater panfish, it really is. It'd be really cool to catch like a red drum here somewhere. I'm not discounting that being in the cards, honestly. Oh, we got the breeze, thank goodness. Mandatory breeze therapy there. Stuff's brutal. Hydrilla. fish. Oh, something different. That's regular old vanilla bluegill. Living in almost saltwater, man, which is cool. I mean, it's like I said, it is salty today, so bluegill's probably pretty good into the midday, but I mean, it is hot. We got that luck, a little bit of that saltwater tide exchange. I guess it always helps to have some of that. This is much hotter than I'm typically fishing, but it's nice to throw away a day and check out some new stuff, see what it is. It's probably good in the fall here, but it's great in the fall. Fish probably get really aggressive in the fall. This time of year, you know, less aggressive stuff overall, probably. All right, take that guy off. This tub of the 1-inch gulps, though, man. Get these things when they're on sale. You know, I'm telling you, you need them for scup, you need them for catching bait, exploring stuff. They don't catch just small stuff, man. You gotta look at, like, you know, when we go to the Florida Keys, man. Try this. Man, I'm just hoping I can catch enough small fish for a day out here. As soon as you get a little breeze, man, it's a light and day difference. You're in that sun, it's the worst day of your life. In the breeze, you're like, oh, this is great. Could do this all day. This isn't the hottest days I've been out here, though. Making me think about it, though. 90-degree stuff is hard. Not that used to it, too. I don't do it as much as I used to. Those Florida Keys guys do it all the time, and it's like, yeah. What happened, bro? You used to do this. Take a break from doing like that, those real tough temperatures. Before you know it, you're not. You just ain't what you used to be. Just some has-been. ISV fishing the has-been. I think we're on 3 shell crackers and 1 crab. No giant shell crackers with it, but they've been like, they're worth keeping if I wanted to, for sure. We're gonna go towards like the saltwater opening here. Maybe we'll start seeing saltwater fish. That would be cool. Get some bigger S-bends, see where I'm gonna push into now. So a little of everything, man. My confidence isn't there, so I'm not talking too much. You know, I can talk a little more when I'm confident, if that makes sense. I'm confident there's fish here, but I'm not confident in what I'm doing because we're exploring a brand new spot. And this stuff I barely film typically when I go somewhere new because of that. But you know what? That format of like, hey, you know, this is what I actually do. Ooh, a little bluegill came up. Try to nip at my jig there. Yeah, this is sometimes what we actually do, right? Go fishing and try it out and cross your fingers. This does look like a spot that would have some pretty nice shell crackers. I see something up shallow here. I don't know if that's a red drum. I might see a red drum, actually. Probably mullet, too. You know, there's a lot of them where I'm more than likely looking. Yeah, mullet. Okay, I see it swim by. So mullet are like just, they eat plankton. I don't know. I've heard they eat stuff like Cheerios and bread, and there's a couple of YouTube videos of people catching them on those sorts of baits. Me, I've tried it once or twice to like make mullet fishing content. No, not with a cast net, like actually trying to catch those things. Yeah, it hasn't really worked out that well for me, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's definitely a time of year where you're one and done in the spot. I came here, this is the spot we started at, called One Crappie. You just gotta move. There's probably more fish, but they're just like not really feeling it. You know, you might always get a quick aggressive strike out of something before the rest is like, nah, we're good. It's a little bit more of a different style, right? You're just coasting along and you're not fishing spots. You're just fishing along. Putting in time, exploratory, right? That's what this is more. You hit a tree log and then get some hydrilla on it. Yeah, I don't think any of this stuff really gets much fishing pressure. The thing that happens when you get these, so 2026 is the year of the drought, right? I think it causes nothing to really move much. That's really what I think, you know. You're not getting big waves or changes of fish location, behavior, any of that stuff. You got whatever fish happened, you know, like that spring migration, fish happened to move around. And they haven't moved much since, I think. Feels like a lot of that is the case, unfortunately. And that makes it for tough fishing, man. It does. Because usually you got, you know, some rain to really slosh stuff around, bait movement. Not really, it's not what you're usually getting here. And this whole bank is all sand, so I'm like, so far sand hasn't been giving me many bites. We'll see. You know, I heard last year there was like bluefish in some of these crazy creeks, even big blue, not big, but like 5-6 pounders. I was like, no way, man. I'm starting to believe it. When I tasted that water, it's just like, I didn't expect it to be salty. Definitely did not. I was blown away. Just call me. People call me. I don't know anyone from Phoenix, Arizona. Robocall. Love non-stop robocalls. It's wonderful, right? Okay, lost all my tail on there. Not much there either. Ooh, hard. Got some bluegills. Boats and bluegills. Let's see. We're fogging up here yet? No? Good. I didn't think I'd see too much pleasure boat traffic today, but it's summer. It's definitely going to be some of it. Like it or not, right? Suck it up, Buttercup. I wonder how many accidents happen in these places over July 4th weekend, like that kind of stuff. They gotta be like really close near misses and tight creeks, you know. This isn't the tightest of creeks, but you could definitely have something happen on a tight S-curve or something like that. Yeah, this looks good here. Oh yeah, back in shade. Shade is where it's at. This has got these nice looking limestone banks too. Man, it's been a hot couple weeks, man. I haven't been a fan of it. Find myself slowing down as you get to, you know, how should I say? It's not that I don't want to go fishing and catch fish and all that stuff. But as I'm getting to the late 30s into the 40s, right? I want more comfort if I'm going to bust my chops. I'm not going to bust myself for probably nothing great. It's not to say you can't catch amazing fish in the dead of summer, but odds are against you very often. Even this bluegill bite being this slow is like, okay, it's a little concerning. Yeah, out here over this deeper stuff with less trees and more cliffities, got bluegills. Got a snake looking at me, I think. Maybe it's a bullfrog, I can't tell. Oh man, but get the breeze, right? Oh, this feels nice right here, man. You feel that shade there? These fish are different than my fish, my Tannic River fish. They're far more spooky. Even these little bluegills are not like committing to everything every second. Could be a time of year thing though, for sure. Missed one there. Thought I might have heard my first rumble of thunder. Let me check on this already. Much earlier than I thought I'd be hearing that. Don't like that. Oh, I got time. This is all limestone here, right? Limestone's like the best, I think, in the dead of summer. Like, it definitely brings in a lot of fish. And I know I'm gonna get hung here a couple times too, but that's okay. Ultralight fishing, you know, doesn't happen over sandy bottom very often. It's gonna be rocks and trees for sure. You know, I really thought the limestone bank would be where I'd catch the shell crackers, not the trees. I really thought banks like this would have been loaded. I see a snake in that hole there. I think it's a snake. There's a hole in the bank. I see something in it. Guess that's it, man. That looked really good. See that behind me? How good that looks. There we go. That's something better. Ooh. Ooh. That's a nice one. No, don't. If you wait till you see what this is. It's dinner. We're gonna keep a couple. Okay. 2-pound test streams, baby. That's a shell cracker. Yeah, that's a good sized one. You know, looks like bluegills, but I'd say they're a little bit more elusive, right? All right, that's good. That's already good enough for me, man. Dead of summer. I didn't fight jet skis or too many jokers on boats today. I don't think I'll be fighting any jokers on boats today. Putting a little time. We got another panfish hole for old man Elias. Just about 10 inches, so. Shell crackers, 12 inches is a big one, right? 10 inches are good. 9, 10s, I'm happy with those. Never a good sign. I don't know if that was my card. I think it was a little too far for me to get that, but okay. I could keep like 2 or 3 of them. Tasty panfish. Got a pretty good creek to keep them from too on top of that. Definitely want to get the shell cracker red drum combo. Might not happen today because I'm really spending a lot more time exploring than being an efficient angler. I don't know if they'll be 2 in one spot. For some reason I doubt it, but you never know. Just a little 1-inch gulp, that's it. Nothing else. Yeah, I don't know. Artificial, it is a tough bargain to say I'm going to catch a lot of them or just a couple. I see a couple bluegills up really shallow though. Also good, valuable info. Hey guys, man. Welcome to learning how to go fishing somewhere new, right? We're living the age where everyone's an expert. Even so, I know I come off as one of these, experts. It's because no one likes someone uncertain telling them X, Y, Z. And granted, if it wasn't YouTube angling, I know I wouldn't have the opportunities to try new spots and skunk out and all that stuff. I guess some of the resistance I'm putting myself through is, the heat. But when you get stuff like that going, it brings that passion back out, right? All right, just a 10-inch shell cracker, but I know it's a pretty good quality fish. And I'm fishing that transition for sure. Sand, I could see sand, and I'm casting, just letting jig fall into dark water. The dark water. I haven't seen anything really running around shallow besides like a mullet or two, and I saw one blue crab. All right, keep moving. Ooh, it's a hot one today. This might end up being the hottest weeks. I'll tell you what, the last 2 years, August hasn't been as bad. It's like when you get really punished with severe heat early, which has been kind of the norm, I'd say, to some extent, things turn around a little bit earlier. Like last year in August, I'd say by August 15th, I was probably fishing every other day, but again, no issues. But this year, I fished a little bit every morning, and I'm just like catching a fish or two. I'm turning off the camera, not bringing the camera. Like I'm just not able to be out here and tell you about what I'm doing or the experience of being out in the water. And I feel like that's actually probably how I should be out doing a lot of fishing, right? I shouldn't be grinding for that stuff. And I don't think you should see many anglers doing the grind for the click necessarily. I'm not in everybody's head, right? Everybody's got their own way of doing it in life. They might be having a lot of fun doing it, and I'm not to tell them you're not having fun. Me, I stop having fun when it gets that hot. When I catch a 10-inch tail cracker, I'll stay out for another 30 minutes. Okay, these zones didn't have a thing for me. But I like that limestone bank. I can't believe I didn't get more fish there, actually. Like, really thinking about that. Right here, I got these trees. There's definitely red drum here. Like, it's got the tall grass that is associated with drum. This is like the transition zone where I can catch a couple of them. I know it. Yeah, I might catch mostly bluegills, but oh yeah, might 90% be bluegills. But I think I'm in the transition where there's red drum. And today, if I come home with just a couple of, not these guys, it's a good bait, as you know. Just a couple readears, that's good too. I know I like eating them. Coastal plain in North Carolina, though, I'd say salt is cool and all, but there is like a secret sauce to the real plain, where it's like this transition of cypress trees, the tall grass, the gators, just like, and that excitement of, am I going to catch a saltwater fish or am I going to catch a freshwater fish? It brings out that primal exploratory angler in you that is hard to verbalize a little bit, I'd say. If you're not the type of angler that's like super into doing their own thing, it might not be that exciting. But somebody like me who's like, hey man, I'm really pumped because I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know. Like, it could be just, at some point, I'm going to find man, I got a lot of structure here as I'm yapping away. I'm going to find saltwater fish here, somewhere here. Don't know when, don't know how many. Also should be finding an alligator somewhere too, honestly. The grass is definitely getting more gatory too. It's kind of cool to catch bluegills on sand like this too. But the structure now, it's changing, right, as I'm going through here. Let me taste, this is probably going to be really salty now. Went up like a mile from yeah. That's almost, I can't believe bluegill can live in that, actually. Wow. I think that's the biggest surprise so far to me. It's really interesting overall. I got another big turn here. I don't know if I have another limestone bank coming up. I might. But this is definitely like the biggest drought. So, I don't know, I guess the bluegills and all these fish can tolerate it for short bursts. I don't know how long they can end up tolerating these temperatures and these salinities. Like the saltier water's probably got good oxygen, I'm guessing. I doubt it's bad, per se. Hung myself up there. Yeah, we're gonna lose that guy. First jig head down, actually, which is pretty good. Usually come into these places lost more than that by now. Oh my gosh, how much? Okay. So what jig head am I using? I'm using these. I'm out of them, I think. These are called the tungsten flat fry. Bug eye flat fry. Being in some wind and not stressing yourself out. These are the two most important things to have a fun day on the water in this heat. All right. Let's see here. Dang, this place is deep. No life on the bottom anywhere like that. I think most of this stuff is out on this rocky banks. We're gonna work this bank a little slower, I think. That's what's going through my head right now. See some gar here too. I haven't seen like gar or any of those fish either. Making me think they're also elsewhere. This drops into 15 feet immediately. No fish there though. Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy. Thought bass. Thought I'd get a couple of these fish here. This might be too salty. It's very possible. I may have hit an unspoken limit. Not gonna go up too much further because I think, like I said, I hit that limit. I see a couple bluegills here. These are bluegills, yeah. Mullet. There's some life here. Maybe I was just a dead bend, man. Bluegill. Decent one. Yeah, it might have just been a lousy bend. Yeah. Catch a fish. Hottest days. Yeah. This is definitely more useful than me try to make another fuzzy dice video for clicks. Get more out of this for sure. Alright, I guess there was at least one spot with a decent amount of fish on it. Okay, that's a pumpkin seed. Different than the other guy. The other guy was a bluegill. That's it. I got enough confidence for the rest of today at least. Fish that transition, dark water to, clear water. And that's it. It is cool how clear this tannic sweet tea water is because you can really see a lot of stuff. I love that too. Nice little bonus. The sun is hitting me hard here though. Start working my way back the other way. Cover's getting less, like as I'm getting more into tidal estuary looking stuff. It's a day for a different Elias, right, to go there. I think that's it. I know that camera angle is not the best, but I really don't want to wear that camera right now. We can turn it out a little bit more so you're not looking at my Costco special shoes. So today we got the Miraval 1000. So this is the second video you're seeing probably with it. It's pretty nice. I like it. I got it on the Jigs. Back there I've got two other setups, both ultralights. So yeah, I'm using some really small, compact stuff today too. Yeah, I'm sure I could probably find a few more fish on some random trees. Not hot and heavy, but still valuable. I think you still just get kind of one or two reaction strikes at a fish before kind of turn off on you. Yeah, it says everything's overheating, so love summer. Summer and electronics. So I would say the fishing's been okay for what the temperatures are throwing at us. Red drum fishing's pretty good. Sheepshead fishing's been pretty par for the course, I would say. Big fish out deep, smaller fish up shallow. But some areas are just not holding life for sure. That's kind of like a pattern, right? Less distribution of fish in saltwater overall. Like, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time in some zones. You can always pick a creek that's pretty good and do something like this, but like I said, one of the goals today is like, well, I know I'm gonna have a lot less boat traffic doing this in kind of the Brackish area and putting some time somewhere new, right? It's always kind of the plus, right? Is this what I expected? I honestly expected more bluegill action, maybe some, bowfin, stuff like that. I haven't seen any bowfin, anything like that. Nope. But we are seeing a couple of shell crackers. Oh, man. It's getting there, man. That is heat. It is hot, hot, hot. I want to try some deeper vertical jigging here. Get ready for some boring stuff for a sec. I don't know, right? I'm seeing life down deep. I don't know. Never fished here. Let's try it. How bad can it be? We lose a jig, we lose a jig. Definitely heard some thunder there just now. Pull that thing out, man. I know it's coming at some point today. Definitely to the south of me. I'm getting some pop-up thunderstorms though. I don't know how some of these guys do it in the kayaks in like places like Texas and Arizona. Maybe it's drier, I don't know. More breeze. Maybe they're catching more fish to keep the optimism going. These dudes in Texas might be really, if they got the fishery to support it. You sing a different tune when you're catching a lot of fish and it's that hot out, man. I do remember some days, especially some of the Finger Lakes, man, it was always like 100, it got up to like 90 degrees, not a breath of wind, which makes it harder. You're stuck in a zone where there's no wind at all. These are some big gar. Guess it might be more of a winter lure. Looked really good when I was goofing with it. Got one crappie on it quickly, but I'm giving up already. So I just spent about 20 minutes. There was a bunch of gar rolling around there. Gar, look them up if you're curious. Prehistoric critters. Sometimes they bite lures, but it's not very consistent. And probably most of the time I don't really want them to bite lures, but sometimes there's other fish that use them as like, especially if there's a big school of them, staged next to them, edges of them. Inconsistent, right? That's the only thing. Right now, I'm just, what should I say? Coming up through too much water without fish, which feels kind of a little weird. Might be par for the course, though. Yeah, as soon as we got into saltier water, it turned into bluegills only. It's another bluegill. And nothing else since that. The transition happens in like, that salt to fresh transition can happen in just like 2-3 bends though. And that was a tiny gill who just really screwed me up. It could be the best ultralight in the fisherman in the world, but that's gonna happen no matter what you do, I guess. I guess one good thing about those monofilaments, almost dropped that in the water. That's not how I want to be. Figuring out how to get that back out. They do like sitting in more current though, most of these panfish right now. Better oxygen moving on the areas with current for sure. So this year I've probably logged, I'd say I ended up averaging 2 to 3 trips per week on average. So let's say we're in June, right? Past June, so we're probably what, three per week? Let's just say 3 per week. So 4 weeks in 12 days a month. So 6 times 12. We're in like that 40 plus trip for the year range now. Yeah, definitely over 40. No, hang on, 12 times 6, Elias, 7. Oh no, I'm showing my 7. All right, let's just say 80, right? We're definitely close to 80 trips for the year. I'd say 150 is kind of a 100. Nah, probably 120. 100. I do take like a week off at times when I'm just like. Sometimes when it comes to fishing, like I need a quick recharge. I'm like, I fished hard for like a week, and then it's like I had just a pretty bad week of fishing sometimes. So I'm like, I'm gonna go home and recharge. Like, not think too much about fishing. Like whatever pattern I thought I had, I'm just gonna drop it. Like that's something that happens with me every now and then. When I get hit like a 1 week, like where I almost totally blank out for like a week straight. Like 3 of my trips, just nothing made sense, or whatever what I thought I was doing was gonna work, didn't work at all. That's when I hit that reset button. And that happens, yeah, a couple times a year. It happened at the end of June, as we're finally put the camera back on. And then it happened, it definitely happened in April this year, where I'm like, no, this sucks. So I kind of go in waves where like I've got some confidence or some storytelling confidence that I could tell you what I'm doing versus going out and just like feeling lost. I definitely feel lost when things don't go as planned a few trips in a row. But then I come out here where it's like there's not much expectation. You know, all right, we saw gar, crappie, got a couple crappies, got shell cracker in the cooler. Type of trip that says, okay, I think I could come back here. Definitely a type of trip that tells me that. It's not a terrible idea. Also was very eye-opening to see how far salt lines can go in some places. Because this, some of the stuff I fish, it's not that surprising that maybe the salt line's kind of far up. You could tell this environment. Where we're fishing today, I say the only visual cue that you could say I might be fishing in some salt water is the grass that's showing up in spots. I guess the sand, but you know, Blackwater rivers typically have that golden sand, I'd say. But the grass is the only giveaway here. I mean, menhaden, right? That's pretty cool. Seeing the menhaden running around. I'm surprised we didn't get a bowfin though. No bowfin, no largemouth bass, mullet running around. Bet you speckled trout get up here in the winter then. Probably not every year, not crazy consistently, but I bet it sometimes does happen. Oh, there's fish. Tiny stuff, man. You always wonder too, when it gets this hot, where do a lot of the better size? They probably just tuck in their caves and sit there. The amount of fish that don't bite when it's really hot out is, yeah, it's real. Summertime shutdowns are a real thing. I'm cooking already, man. It's gonna be a quick one. I'm gonna hit this one last bluff that was pretty good earlier. It had the shell cracker, that bigger shell cracker on it. Or pumpkin seed. Don't catch as many of these guys compared to the bluegills and the warmouth. Oh yeah, where's my man the warmouth too? Stump docker. I don't know, I could try a shark video. I think it might be kind of cool to see how far up the estuaries there's some sharks right now. I know there's sharks in the actual ocean, but like, can we find a shark in an environment like this? I feel like there's a chance I might be able to for once. Just that one bite there. It's a huge drop here though. There should be a couple more fish on it, besides what I caught. I think they face upwards, like towards the shallows, for the most part, most of these fish anyway. Just letting that jig sink down, following it down. Fish hit on the drop a lot. Not sure if there's anything more important than how your jig falls though. So let me ask you a question, right? Bluegill on jigs or shell crackers on jigs? Big ones, you know, 9-inch, 10-inch plus. Which ones are easier to catch overall? I'm not too confident. Either one. I'm having a good time learning this though. I feel like I'm actually learning something. I wouldn't say I'm tapped out on saltwater, definitely not, but like, I find myself not learning quite as much as I used to in salt these days. I learned there's flounder in a lot of places. North Carolina flounder season this year, September 1st. So it's something. It's not, you know, 2-3 months. I wish it was open right now. That would be the best thing to be doing is chasing flounder right now in the middle of July. But we get in September when it could be a hurricane. Maybe it won't be too bad. I do generally prefer it when it's, you know, the best thing to target. You know, I like fishing for flounder, but it also ends up like coincidentally becoming the best thing for like June, July, August. I mean, sheepshead can be really good in the dead of summer too, but I'd say that's the best. Monster time. Oh my goodness. Wow. I hear about this fish. No. This feels like a legendary critter. It's a legendary fish. There is a PB right here. Middle of the day, huh? There's a legendary fish on the jig. Look at this thing. Right. Oh man, spilled the gulp again. Never gonna get luck on that. That's alright. He was in the limestone, as I was hoping for. That made it worth it, huh? See that guy? That is a big shell cracker, dude. I didn't realize it can get one that big. In all its glory. Yeah, that's definitely the biggest one of these guys I've ever caught. It's gonna be a good one to eat, man. Dang, he's almost 11. Yeah, just about 11. 11-inch shell cracker. Cool. I don't know if that's a special one. I think that I should consider that a special one to me. Yeah, that's nice, man. All right, let's get him on ice. Catch one on a lure. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's cool. Sweet, man. I don't think I'd get one that big. Hate that 1-inch gulp, man. Which one did I use? I forgot. Got them all somewhere here. This little 1-inch minnow head, it's called, I think. I'll show you it in a second. Really small bait. Cool, man. It's not something I can get my hands on very easily. Shell cracker, 11-inch shell cracker. They eat some tiny baits then. It's so crazy. Gonna try that little minnow head again. So this is the tadpole. Got a couple fish on it too. The minnow head definitely caught the biggest one of the day so far. After spilling all of them, obviously, multiple times. Now I don't have to. Doesn't matter if I close it now. But this seems to be the juice. Gosh, I can't believe this catches those things. So yeah, it's really real small stuff, man. Get some confidence in that really small stuff with fish like that, though. You're like, I was thinking to myself, like, should I use a bigger jig? Man, when it comes to panfish, bigger doesn't always do much more, honestly. You know, 2 inches is all she needs. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I got one that big though. That's the biggest one I ever caught. That is. Didn't catch too many fish today. Nothing big pulled, nothing like that. But definitely saw something at least. And you see the school pokies there, Menhaden? You know, it makes you think how many are actually hiding and just don't bite very well. There's probably a bunch more. I wouldn't be surprised if there's about half dozen sitting there. Middle of the day though, right? Just a good bank with nice shade. They're there. Not gonna be too much else I could do on a single day trip, but accomplished what I needed to. Back to little rinky-dinky fish. Yeah, it's okay though. Man, I can't imagine. I know some of these guys in other places catching like 14 inches. That's like a giant fish. 11 inches is definitely pushing 2 pounds, right? It's got to be 1.5. Yeah, but I think like in most of these panfish though, unless they're on the spawn, like you can only catch 1 or 2 fish before they kind of wisen up, and you gotta just keep going. Sure, it was the money spot today, but you know, might always have a fish or two for me, but might not have it tomorrow or the day after. Still pulled off what we wanted out of it today, man. Really did. You know, I'd say we did it. And it's so wild, the salinity having that, right? I would really think this was too salty for that guy. And all this is fishing that transition from dark water to sort of this bottom structure here. Sweet. PS seed, pumpkin seed, PS1. A couple small bites here. Ooh, we got him. Thanks. Okay. Went down to 1/80th ounce jig head. I mean, that's the lightest one I got. About that fall rate, I guess. Small stuff here too. Okay, this is tough now. Getting tougher. Everything's overheating. It's amazing. But the fishing's cool. Shell cracker? Yeah. Put that one back. Lights turning on. Hotter it's getting, the better the fishing. Hotter it's getting, the better the bite's getting. That's another nice one, man. Everything's giving me trouble there. But that's another nice one there. Gonna put him back. Probably another 9-10 incher. Awesome. It's a blast, man. This is a lot of fun. Everything's overheating is the only issue I'm having, but whatever. I'm gonna complain about something if that's the best thing I can complain about. I got fish, I figured out a bite, figured out a new area, figured out a lot for the day already, so I'm happy with that. Little Gulp Tadpoles too. There's more fish than I initially gave myself credit for finding here. Dang, wind's gonna make it. Wind's making it comfortable, but it's also making it harder to drift now. Man, there's another one. Dinks. A lot of fish here are small. It's like definitely this seems to be a fishery where 90% is small stuff, but hey, we did get that. Did get 2, not 3. I probably had like 4 shell crackers worth keeping, right? So that's already pretty cool. It's more about like what is the presentation, right? That slow drop is super important. No current, nothing's aggressive at all here. You only got, like I said, 1 or 2 fish a spot, and you gotta just keep moving. This rhythm took about 4 hours to get the hang of in a brand new zone. It's not forever, but it wasn't that quick either. It's awesome. Decent bluegill. Seems like over around here where I'm fishing today, the bluegill don't get as big as the shell crackers, but they get decent size still. Alright, we're going down to 180. That's the lightest jig heads I've found. 164th would work too, probably. Had a bite there. Only thing is, my gulps we're running through that tub of gulp. We need to, actually. Nice fish, fellas. Oh, what, is it the warmouth? Oh, I'm looking for the warmouth. The pumpkin seed. Surprised we didn't get any of those guys. They must not like it when it's on the saltier side. I think they'd be pretty adaptable to that too. This hook's pretty sharp too, man. I think I ordered these off Fish USA. That makes sense? think that's where I got these from. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up soon. Got more to explore out here. I feel like I'm scratching the surface of the ultralight game in the Carolinas. So over here, it's more of a sandbar. I'm not seeing anything here. Boo, nothing there. Nice, we got a shell cracker. Nice one. Part of the 1/80th ounce jig. Okay, for whatever reason, this camera doesn't overheat. I know it's not maybe your favorite point of view, but let's try to get it into a very enjoyable spot at least. I wonder, is it because I went down to the 180th, or is it time of day? There's a part of me thinking it might be time of day. This is a really good bluegill and shell cracker bite. This is getting good. I know early's not great. I mean, early hasn't been good for me this year. And I was historically big early morning fisherman. Now these days, I think I'm less obsessed about going early. Only thing with the 80th ounce jig, it is a little unwieldy. Hard to get an idea where you want it to land. All that stuff. I'm going to work my way back in a moment here. There's a lot of really small stuff as I get shallower. It's about that deep drop and knowing how to work it. It seems like these are the deets. What are the deets? Just work the deep drops properly. That's it. This lose, so I got this Jigging World Optimist. This lose is a little hit or miss with the 2 pound test. Sometimes it performs 0 issues, lands perfectly every time, gets it where I need it to be. And then other times it kind of misses the mark a little bit. All I know is I'm going to get back into some breeze too. Sometimes also that tadpole, if you rig it the wrong way, it spins a lot. A lot of these gulp baits, they're just not formulated perfectly. The scent is where it's at, but sometimes they're not perfect upon landing. Good spots are the good spots, though. You could tell. Yeah, this lynx. A lot of people have been asking me about this Hobie lynx right now too. It's come up on its 1 year anniversary. 2 year. It's almost a year and a half now. I haven't done too much to it, honestly. I really like it, man. Hard to beat it. It really is. It's an experienced fishing platform. It's not for everybody. It's not for every experience, but it can do some things and provide experiences like nothing else on the water can. That's my conclusion on the lynx. It's definitely not the best show kayak. Like, it doesn't put out the most grandiose of content, though. That's for sure. That's all we went with today. One tub of gulp. Yeah, I think I'm fading out now. It's reality, right? Sometimes you can't. You're. Gosh, I'm not even articulating words anymore. You might be personally wanting to continue on. I think your body gives out. I think my body's giving out, guys. Saying you're time to ride off into the sunset, Elias. You got what you wanted out of today. You saw your PB shell cracker, right? That's already pretty darn good. Lasted a long time today, guys. It is time for me to tap out. I feel like I need to. With all this information being said, got the little Jigging World Optimist. If you like the channel, check that out. It helps the channel every time I sell one of those. Make more content. Keep up with the times. How many advertisements can I put? I don't love it, but game changed on me, man. And I hope I could share my enthusiasm, whatever it ends up being. This is a hot day, so I appreciate you watching me in your air conditioning. And we're going to do it again, probably another day or two. Try somewhere different, maybe. Nice to have a creek where the water's not too bad. Some of the stuff I have to drive to. I don't mind driving, but yeah, I like to make the not every every day to go fishing, drive an hour and a half, 2 hours somewhere, but gives me some more confidence, which is always good. Always a good thing having that little confidence in what you're doing. So, all right, guys. Next one. Appreciate you.